We're not going to give you who last call will be.
Probably
with.
shouldn't until after that's recorded.
Very yellow light.
Super yellow light.
Forrester got another message on my way to the bathroom, and we've got cell phone now, so I feel a lot better about this.
Flora-Bama Lounge before the show's over with here. Got to get to a little video here from the Flora-Bama, brought to you by that great place.
Yeah, so Flora-Bama this Memorial Day weekend, starting at 11 this morning. I talked to Uncle Steve Powers today. He said live music started up. 48 live performances on 6 different stages, plus tomorrow at 3 o'clock. Dunaway, you said you've got no plans. Your wife's out of town. The Miss Memorial Day Bikini Contest. Ladies can sign up on their site at Flora-Bama.com right now. Flora-Bama Fishing Rodeo, less than a month away.
Is that happening Saturday?
For the 12th annual one?
The
Bikini Contest is tomorrow.
It's tomorrow.
Miss Memorial Day. You going to make it?
Steve lets me judge. I'll be there. I can make it down there.
Oh, we can get that done.
Yeah, overnight.
More content right here.
That or the fight when I have with Maggie that I drove down there to do it.
She left you with the dogs.
Yeah, that's true.
Give her middle finger.
Let's make some
judge.
I'd have to take the dogs.
No,
Steve.
if you'll go do this, I'll keep your dogs. I mean, hell, I've got 3. I might as well have 5 this weekend.
I want my dogs to come back.
That chili might kill one. But,
or 2.
For more information on all of the great things going on at the Flora-Bama, which is just one of the best places you could ever be, especially this weekend, go to Flora-Bama.com.
Live music there all the time. Set this one up for us, LT. Who do we have?
So this is going to be Kevin Mack, and he is performing When Granny Drinks Whiskey. Now, the video and song, really, really funny. They're in the songwriter's room. That is my favorite room. Had this discussion with my ex-wife's boyfriend last night. Boy, I've been in some interesting situations this week.
I would say.
But he was talking about songwriter's room, his favorite room, because we were talking to Rockstar, who was actually in the kitchen with us last night, post-graduation, who is going to be performing from this room one day.
Boy, you guys have a lot in common.
I guess.
Songwriter's room at the Flora-Bama. So this is the Flora-Bama Lounge. We're going a little long.
Dunaway's on the front row.
Yeah.
Hey, and it's Maggie back with her old hairdo.
Yeah, me or Stanford Steve. This is the Flora-Bama Lounge, brought to you by the Flora-Bama. Hang on, we're going a little overtime.
Grandfather cheated on my grandmother with her. And for when I tell this story, I'm making all this shit up. This shit didn't happen. I had a great, loving family. Like, honestly, what happened was I had an awesome grandmother. She taught me and my brother to shoot 12-gauge shotguns, and that's where this whole thing started from there. But I like just saying this, so here we go. So my grandfather was cheating on my grandmother with her sister. And I caught him. And I went and told Grandma what had happened. And she got drunk one night and killed him. Y'all want to hear the song I wrote about it? Wrote this with my buddies Dave, Kennedy, Shannon Wilson, White Durrett. I told them the story, what happened to Grandma. We wrote it. Here we go. It's called When Granny Drinks Whiskey. I'll tell y'all something else. I'll just go ahead and tell you. So I was on Shark Tank on November 3rd. I got a guitar pick that sticks to your guitar. And I did a deal with Mark Cuban this month.
You got Mark Cuban to invest in his... Yeah. This is amazing to me, man.
So, yeah.
Golf season is here. And if you're looking for a great golf course with affordable rates, you need to check out the newly renovated Woodward Golf Club. Woodward Golf Club is a semi-private club with membership opportunities available, but is also open to the public. You can book tee times online at this hidden gem by going to golfwoodward.com. For only $195 per month, you can enjoy unlimited golf 7 days a week. Membership includes discounted cart fees, unlimited range balls, and the use of our practice facilities. For more information on memberships and the course, check us out online at golfwoodward.com.
The Double Down Media podcast family is live and full of content for all ages. The Mystery Fifth Hour gives the Next Round host a chance to talk about everything but sports. Pour a glass of Bama and Bourbon, our weekly college football conversation, while sipping on some of the most interesting pours in the bourbon world. And in our Not For All Ages podcast, The Last Call, LT takes off the gloves for in-depth conversations with stars like Taylor Hicks, presented by Redmont Vodka. Find these podcasts and more by searching The Next Round on Apple, Spotify, and on our website, nextroundlive.com. Follow Next Round Live on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. The social media team at Next Round Live is dedicated to giving you daily news conferences and practice video from UAB, Alabama, Auburn, and around college football. Follow and compare to the sites you used to visit. You'll also get the latest highlights and news from the Next Round Daily Show. Turn on the notifications so you don't miss a thing. Next Round Live on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. See more at nextroundlive.com.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, and Rockstar. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the next round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
Auburn finishes out their basketball roster. Versatile is the word being used. We'll talk about that coming up on the show. The NCAA baseball tournament is set with teams in there from a lot of SEC schools, including Alabama, who made the field. Alabama softball still alive, NBA sweeps in progress, and a lot of college football and NFL camp news. But we are not at the SEC meetings in Destin. We are in Nashville, Tennessee for this elite event with On3 Sports. Tell us what's going on here in the Music City.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to tell you, On3 has got a lot of their top recruits coming in, like top 45, 50 recruits that will be signing in this next signing class. They are here, and they're doing a lot of interviews. They are doing measurements. They're getting their actual height and weight. They're meeting, and this is what's really cool, they're meeting with people from the NIL world. Like agencies like CAA, Jimmy Sexton's agency, the agency he's part of, CAA, they've got a setup here. There's some financial advisors. I can't remember which firm it is. It's probably multiple firms that have a setup here. And so basically they're walking these athletes through, first of all, getting the measurements, doing some media stuff, and then talking to people, real world people about NIL and finances. It's actually very, very cool what On3 is doing.
You know, when we were in Nashville, I guess the last time we did a show in Nashville was SEC Media Days last July, right?
Yeah.
And that was really the first time we kind of hung out with Shannon Terry and Grant Firking. And they were kind of explaining almost a symposium they do for these athletes and try to explain, you know, what NIL is all about. And they've got really the good ideas. These are the guys the NCAA needs to lean on,
right,
for kind of that textbook on the right way to do it, because these guys they've got it pretty dialed in.
They also have some of the influencers that have NIL deals, and they bring them in to talk to the athletes. Like the Cavender twins are here, potentially going to be on the show in just a little while. You'll know when they show up. And you know, I mean, they've made great money off of this. So that's kind of what's going on here today. Really cool spot. We're at the W in Nashville. Gorgeous pool behind us right here.
I wore the
Lance ready to take a dip.
Man, I'm ready.
Yeah,
I wore the shorts.
ready to go.
I didn't know what the scene was going to be like. I tell you, they got a lot of employees at On3.
Yeah, well, they do. On3's got a few people that work for them.
There's actually one room just down the hallway I was walking around that's just stacked with gold bars. You just walk in, you grab a gold bar and walk out. Good.
I'll tell you what it reminds me of. It's Reed's office with these boxes everywhere.
I know, absolutely.
Lanyards, boxes, T-shirts. Yeah. But it is amazing. I don't know who the athlete was. You know, some 17, 18-year-old came over here. They measured him. They're measuring the hands over there. So we're going to get measurements today, right?
Are we?
Well, we are for Dunaway. So to our right, and I was here earlier, and I was talking to the guys. They've got the tape up where they get the official measurement and weight. We won't make you do weight.
Yeah,
you keep up with your weight. But we are going to finally settle with an NFL Combine style measurement, Dunaway's height.
Yeah, I'm going to go and tell you're not going to like it, because I have a feeling that if you're running an On3 Sports Elite, you're not going to be as strict as the NFL.
You think they'll lean a little bit, give you an inch?
They're going to give everybody a little inch, or give everybody a little bigger hand, maybe, because they don't. This is not for the record. This isn't the Combine.
No.
This isn't the NFL.
Guys, I saw him look over his right shoulder when Dunaway said that. They're all about integrity.
That's
here.
right.
Oh, they're not giving a half inch.
But I'm telling you, Nick Saban would roll in here. He'd be 6 feet just like me, I believe.
Okay, so we're gonna get through measurement. They're gonna go shoes off, hat off.
Shoes off, hat off.
Shoes off, hat off.
Yeah,
I've already seen it.
I'll do pants off. I will not do shirt off. I'll do anything but shirt.
So we're gonna get that done. We are gonna settle this once and for all. Dunaway's official NFL Combine height coming up in just a little bit.
Yeah.
They've even got the protractor. They take and they take it and they put it on your head. This is spot on.
Yeah,
we're gonna know.
Well, that's because Chevy Chase, with the afro, he was
6. What was he? 6'3", 6'8" with the afro.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna do hand size either. I'm gonna skip that one.
I got that too.
I never knew how they did that. I didn't realize they did it on a table like that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stand on my hand size from my pro day.
Stand up business.
Yes, from my pro day. All right, we'll get to the headlines here. Brought to you by our friends at A+. Tell us how they reworked your homes, LT and Browning.
Well, so they've worked at both mine and LT's house, as Jim said. When our master bath needed a redo, my wife scoured the internet trying to find the right person to do it. And she talked to several contractors, people that had used certain contractors. She picked A-plus Tile Home Remodeling. I'm glad she did. Brad Bell did tremendous work in our house. He did great work in Lance's master bathroom as well, and he could do great work for you. What he specializes in is master bath, kitchen, and master bedroom closets. Now, he does everything, but that is his specialty, and that's good news for you for a couple of reasons. Number one, you're going to enjoy those rooms while you live in the house. Number two, when you go sell your house, you're going to make your money back on those rooms. Master bath, kitchen, master bedroom closets. That's where everybody looks, right? And Brad Bell does that well. 205-422-1758 is his number. 205-422-1758. That is Brad Bell, A-plus Tile Home Remodeling. If you've missed anything I said here, just reach out to me. I'll be happy to get you in touch with Brad. He's done great work anywhere in Alabama. He can help you. 205-422-1758.
All right, we're at the On3 Elite Camp up here in Nashville. Their seminar going on with their great athletes, 45 to 50 of them that will commit coming up. Signing Day 2025, the future of college football. The future of college football being talked about 6.5 hours south of here in Destin at the SEC meetings. Greg Sankey talking yesterday as everyone arrived in Destin. One thing he will not discuss at this meeting, he says, is future scheduling yet. The 8 and 9 team discussion not on the table, he says, because they've got the schedule locked in the next 2 years. Basically what he's saying here, we want to see how this plays out one year before we start deciding whether we're going to go to 9 games or not. We're going to go 2 years with this 8-game schedule, then we're going to make a call. So no talk about 8 or 9 this year. Your thoughts?
We know it's inevitable. They're going to go to 9. I mean, when you've got a 16-team league now, you kind of have to. And again, it's more forgiving. You know, there was a day when we had the BCS and a 14 playoff. If you lost multiple games, you weren't getting into a playoff. Your opportunity to play for a championship was over. Well, now with a 12-team playoff, you can lose 2 or 3 games and get in. So I think you can schedule more difficult. And that would be going to 9 games in the SEC. So this isn't a surprise to me.
I think the thing they want to see first, Brown, is
you're on it.
Is what the selection committee is going to do. Are they going to reward strength of schedule? Yeah. How deep are they going to go on that? Or is it still going to be the win column? Is 10-2 in the SEC going to look the same as 11-1 in the ACC or Big 12? Is it going to look better than 11-1 in the ACC and Big 12?
So in other words, if I'm essentially guaranteed 3 borderline 4 teams in the playoff every year, why change anything? Like, I'm with Lance. I'd rather see the 9 because of all the new teams in the conference. But also, if I look at it from a strictly strategic standpoint for the SEC, if I'm getting in 3 or 4 teams every year, why would I change anything I'm doing? Because making a schedule tougher is only going to make it tougher to get in 3 or 4 teams. And if the selection committee's like, no, we're good with what you're doing. We put in 3 last year. Heck, you know, Ole Miss was on the borderline, or Missouri was on the borderline. You know, you got Alabama, Texas, and Georgia, and we almost put in Missouri. If I'm Greg Sankey, I'm not changing anything.
Yeah, I think it's going to be more eye test with 12 teams. I really do. I think when somebody gets hot, if they've lost a game or 2 in September, October, and they end up being 10-2 and they're playing their best football in November, I think eye test is going to play more of a part.
It may.
Therefore, I think going to 9 makes the most sense. So you don't think they will go to 9?
I used to think they would, Lance, absolutely. But I'm with Dunaway. I think Greg Sankey wisely is going to tap the brakes and see how this whole playoff works out. As he said, you've already got it scheduled for 2 years now, right? They know what they're doing. So there's really no rush in changing this. But, you know, if the selection committee came back and said, yeah, and this is highly unlikely this would ever happen. We only put 2 SEC teams in because the Big Ten, they played 9 games. You guys only played 8. Big 12 played 9. You only played 8. We rewarded them. Well, then you have their attention. But if you keep getting in 3 or 4 teams, I don't know why you would change anything. And I'm with you. I used to think you would definitely go to 9 games. But I do think it's wise for Greg Sankey and the SEC athletic directors to stand pat right now and just see how this playoff selection works.
It was my belief before they made a decision to stick at 8 that Greg Sankey was very much in favor of the 9. I thought he was.
I think he was. I agree with you.
Yeah.
But then they decided to stay at 8. So you're going to stay at 8. Let's see what it looks like now that you're here.
Don't you think even if we go to 9, you're still going to have 3, 4, 5 teams that only have 2 or less losses?
Yeah, I mean, I would think so. I mean, honestly, Lance, I think if you went 8 or 9, it's going to be the same amount of SEC teams that get in every year. I really don't think it would affect it that much because probably a team that loses just bumps another SEC team in front of them.
Yeah. It seems to me, and, you know, I don't like conspiracy theory, so this isn't a conspiracy theory. And I'm not a huge fan of wrestling, which is scripted, but it seems to me that it is built into the ingredients of this 12-team and soon-to-be 14-team playoffs on how many SEC and Big Ten teams will make this up. It almost is going to be the top 3, absolutely, from each of your leagues, and then we'll figure out the rest. How many more after the first 3? You know what I'm saying? Third place SEC.
Yeah, I'm trying to think.
Third place Big Ten's in. Then we'll start figuring out, do we get a 4th and a 5th?
So going back to last year, you mentioned Missouri and Ole Miss, both 11 wins. We know Alabama and Georgia would have been in.
Yep.
Ole Miss and Missouri, did they both get in?
If it was 12, I believe they do. Yeah.
Probably.
I'm just wondering where the cutoff is. You know, LSU had a Heisman Trophy winning quarterback and they had 10 wins. Would they have gotten in?
Well, I mean, keep in mind, let's just fast forward it. And
because 2 of their losses were to, one of their losses, Florida State, who would have been in. Other loss, Alabama in. Other loss, Ole Miss in.
Yeah.
Yep.
So maybe LSU gets into.
But if you just
they'd have been 9-3 at the time, but
But if you just fast forward to this year and take what happened last year and just assume Texas beat Alabama and that was their only loss, and then maybe Texas goes to the SEC championship game and beats Georgia the way Alabama did, Texas, Georgia, Alabama, easy. You don't even think about those. And now you're down to Ole Miss and Missouri. Right now you're considering those teams, or LSU, you know, if LSU had gotten a win somewhere. So, I mean, I think if you look at it, 9 games is probably going to get the same. I don't know that it matters.
One of the fears, though, and look, we know that the money is all in television now, but one of the things that has gone a little bit backwards is attendance at games. And one of the easier ways to sell season tickets is to have an additional game like that.
Conference games is easier on scheduling, and it's more revenue for your TV or more real estate for your TV partner. You know, some of these like Alabama, Wisconsin is not on ESPN, ABC. That's a road game on Fox. So that's sending one of your premier flagship teams on the road to play on another network. Conference games, they're all on your properties, ABC, ESPN. I think we'll eventually go to 9, but no rush to do that. Will not be discussed this week in Destin, according to Greg Sankey. One thing that will be discussed, and I'm sort of in favor of this, right after LT tells us about our friends at Hydra Live. I was late in town last night. Do you guys go out any?
We went nearby. Yeah, we came here and then went to there was a little gathering of some of the On3 people at a local establishment that Lance and I attended. Yeah,
I would tell you.
We're very briefly out there.
Yeah, I would tell you that I played golf and got a late exit from Birmingham. And on the ride up, I can't tell you how many waters and Powerades I downed. I was
not
day
about
yesterday.
to.
Yeah,
I had planned on riding and having a couple of beers rolling into town because it was Memorial Day. And I was thinking to myself last night about 6 o'clock, I have yet to have a beer and it's Memorial Day.
How about that?
Yeah. And because I was like you, I was getting hydrated. But what I should have done is gone to Hydro Life Therapy, IV therapy, B12 injections, cryotherapy, compression therapy, all under one roof. You can boost your immune system with Hydro Life Therapy. Ask about the membership packages. You can basically recoup IV membership fee in just one visit. Hydro Life Therapy, open 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. 2 locations in Birmingham, also Tuscaloosa. Don't forget about that one. One in Homewood, one on Highway 119 in Greystone. For more information, hydrolifetherapy.com. But make sure when you're in one of those locations, mention the next round, 20% off any of the great services from our friends at Hydro Life Therapy.
Okay, so Greg Sankey says he does welcome the House and the Senate to come up with some guidelines to help college athletics moving forward. He's in favor of that. He's also going to discuss this week to make it an SEC rule that you have to officially fill out an injury report to do injury reports. Very NFL-like model.
Right.
It's not an NCAA rule. I think the Big Ten started doing this last year. The SEC, some of their coaches like Nick Saban, has done this for a long, long time. Greg Sankey looks like he is in favor. At least it'll be part of the discussion at SEC meetings this week, to have a mandated schedule of reporting injuries throughout the course of the season.
As I always ask, what is the penalty if I lie? I
mean, you lose a draft pick.
Yeah. I mean, that's the only enforcement on this is what is the penalty if I lie?
Hey, can't you just put guys questionable all the time?
Yeah, I mean, I like this idea, Dunaway, but there is an actual punishment in the NFL for lying about it.
Yeah, but Tom Brady was on Bill Belichick's injury report every time.
Yeah, but there's also the cutoff where if you are out by, I can't remember what the actual cutoff is. Is it on Saturday? Like on the Saturday injury report, if you're still listed as out there, you cannot play on Sunday.
Right.
There's no like oh my gosh, we went to a healing service Sunday morning. He's ready to go. So, I mean, there's got to be, I don't know, there's got to be some repercussions for this to have any teeth, because you're talking about the most paranoid group of people on planet Earth, college football coaches, the most paranoid people. Any little nugget of information they think gives them advantage, they hold on to it close to the vest. And if, say, Carson Beck gets dinged up in a game, Kirby Smart's not going to want Florida to know. If Carson Beck's going to buy me, they'd be Florida either way. But you get what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
I mean, Kirby is going to want to hold that close to the vest.
Well,
A piece of information.
You remember the guy that was questionable every week until he was finally ruled out was Cam Rising last
That's right,
year,
yeah.
with Utah. Is this going to be the week he plays?
Yeah,
Is he ready?
And clearly, he was out all year.
All year, and they knew it.
Yeah, they knew it, but they kept just dangling it out there just to try to get an advantage. But they knew he wasn't playing. But what was the punishment by the Pac? I mean, the Pac-12 was going out of business, but what was the punishment? Nothing. So, I mean, why would Kyle Whittingham say, you know what? He's out. You know, you go ahead and prepare for my backup. You don't even have to worry about my starter coming back today. He's out. And
Nick Saban always wanted this, right?
well, he operated this way. Now, was he
always honest?
I don't know.
No.
Probably not.
There were a couple of things he held back. Usually suspensions is what he held back.
Yeah.
Like he would never tell you that you're going to get to the game in Atlanta against Clemson, and there were going to be two guys aren't playing because they had been suspended for something they did in the offseason.
Even his first suspension was against Tennessee. Remember the textbook?
Yeah, and that didn't break until game day.
Yeah.
But you know, Nick Saban did always use the NFL parlance, you know, the NFL language, like
questionable,
doubtful,
doubtful,
doubtful, out. You know, probably. He still used all of that, but I don't know that he followed the letter of the law the way you have to in the NFL.
I mean, hell, we're becoming the NFL anyway. We're doing everything like them. We've even got a 2-minute warning starting next year, just in case you guys forget.
And
we've got a 2-minute warning. So let's go ahead and do the NFL.
And by the way, I mean, the NFL works, right? Just don't send any of these teams. Well, I guess we are sending some of these teams overseas.
It does, but there are some things that I do. You know, Tyler Watts was a great story. He wasn't going to play. Was it at Auburn, Tennessee?
It was at Auburn. It was in the Iron Bowl.
And he went out and warmed up. He got a shot, went out there and warmed up. He wasn't going to play.
And Auburn's coaches were convinced, and they go Andrew Zow, which is a totally different quarterback. I mean, Zow and Watts were two different guys, and Auburn never really adjusted in that game, and Alabama ran them off the field. This is the dirty secret I guess the dirty thing nobody wants to talk about. You do this for daily fantasy and gambling, right?
Oh, it's gambling, 100%.
I mean, there's really no other reason you would do this.
Yeah.
And I know people don't want to talk about that. It just feels dirty, but in college athletics especially.
It doesn't really affect anything unless it's a quarterback, though.
The more transparent you are, though.
Yeah.
The better it is.
But I mean, that's really the only reason you would do this.
Right. Because, you know, we've seen it up close and personal. If only the head coach knows that the pitcher is going to be scratched versus LSU,
he can leak that and make some money.
He can leak it to somebody, and somebody can make some money along the way.
And cost himself a job.
That team, by the way, is 2 seed in the NCAA tournament.
People were talking about them might not make it in. They were a 2 seed.
That's what I said.
They got a pretty tough draw, though.
Oh, they
did. Tallahassee.
Oh, yeah.
And if they somehow won that, would Oklahoma, if they win their region, would Oklahoma host Super Regional?
That's who they're matched up with, yeah.
Yeah, we'll get to the brackets of that, and we'll talk softball coming up. We'll set the record straight on Ronald Acuna in the next segment as well. A lot of discussion on the pennant grace with E.G. and Josh about that. They did an emergency thing. But one more thing before we get off and rolling here for our opening segment from Nashville today as the next round's on the road. Tell us about Gutter Cap, and I'll get to that one more thing.
Yeah, 45% off the retail price right now. Call our good friend Chris Stewart. He will come out, give you an absolutely free estimate, and you will never have to clean those gutters again. It's a dirty, dangerous job. You get on the roof, you slip, you fall, you snap the neck and die. You're no good to the wife or kids. Call 205-823-2212 for more information. GutterCapBirmingham.com. Cap it, don't snap it. It is Gutter Cap.
Is this you going to Cunha here, or is that later?
No, I'm saving it.
Okay.
Segment.
I've got a comment for you then.
Next segment on Ronald Acuna, yeah. In fact, I'm told by EG I need to give an official statement.
Okay, well then this will lead into that perfectly.
Okay, we'll do that next segment.
All right.
But I do want to mention Birmingham Southern baseball.
It's crazy.
They won their Super Regional, and they are off to the Division III College Baseball World Series, and that will now start on the day that the school closes. So congratulations to them. They're on their way. I have learned that the makers of the high school Hoover football documentary,
Yep.
What was the name of that?
Two-A-Days.
Two-A-Days.
Yep.
has been following this team around for a while.
For Netflix, I'm told Netflix has, I don't know if you call it like they've optioned it or whatever.
Right.
I mean, how would you? I know that the university's closing, but how would you know this story's going to play out like this? And
I guess
it's
you
almost
roll the dice and hope.
back to your wrestling and scripted stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, over the weekend, for all of these players to get food poisoning,
Yeah.
the guys that ordered chicken Alfredo from a hotel, which seems a little dangerous on the surface.
It's the Jordan flu game.
But yeah, for them to go out and be able to hang on and win that game with basically, half the team out was
One
food
guy
poisoning.
go to the hospital.
I think they're 19-4 since the school announced their closing.
Yeah.
So they've been on a little bit of a heater.
Is this like when the in Major League when she was trying to sell the team?
No, this is what I was going to say is if it's a Disney movie, when they get to the World Series, they go to the national championship game. The rich businessman that's bought the land to build the shopping mall steps in and says, "We're going to keep the school," and everybody celebrates, and Dennis Quaid gets lifted up on the shoulders. If this is the Disney movie, that's the way this plays out, right? But it's not going to Friday.
Yeah, 168 years of Birmingham Southern, and the baseball team is going to play longer than the school existed.
It's incredible.
Just a chilling, great sports story. One of the reasons you love sports, and everyone has picked up on it across the country. And apparently, because we were Memorial Day weekend by the pool, and somebody said, I wish this would have been a great 30 for 30. And then I did a little talking to some people, and they're like, "Oh, by the way, the people that did two-a-days have been shooting video following the team for a while. They had planned on doing the ending documentary anyway.
Yep.
And now the story has just gotten better and better.
Oh, they hit the jackpot. I've heard Netflix has an option on it. I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what I was told over the weekend.
You saw the celebration there at Birmingham Southern, closing it out up in Ohio, and they're off to the Division III College Baseball World Series. All right. We're off and rolling, always brought to you by Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. One more person to tell you about here in this opening segment. That's our friends at Johnson RV, johnsonrvcenter.com, on the road. We're in a hotel this time, but we have no problem on these road trips staying in one of the luxurious items you can get from Johnson RV.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I-65 exit 304 in Coleman, 334 in Decatur, and always online at johnsonrvcenter.com. That's where you find the great deals. They've repriced both those lots I just mentioned, and they're so confident in their pricing that they are giving you a nationwide guarantee. They will beat any price nationwide. Bring them a price on a comparable RV. They beat it. Nationwide guarantee. Also, lifetime warranty from RV Warranty Forever on anything new and qualifying used at Johnston RV Center, I-65 exit 304 in Coleman, 334 in Decatur. Always online, johnstonrvcenter.com. Dunaway's official statement on the Braves next.
Follow Sean Lunsford on Twitter at JLuntz.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, you're in the red zone for every college rivalry and divisional matchup all season long. I mean, where else are the scenic views as good as your view of the game? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
This hour of The Next Round is presented by the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, now featuring 7 days of giveaways with your chance to win a share of up to $125,000. The more you visit the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, the more chances you have to win.
Golf season is here, and if you're looking for a great golf course with affordable rates, you need to check out the newly renovated Woodward Golf Club. Woodward Golf Club is a semi-private club with membership opportunities available, but is also open to the public. You can book tee times online at this hidden gem by going to golfwoodward.com. For only $195 per month, you can enjoy unlimited golf 7 days a week. Membership includes discounted cart fees, unlimited range balls, and the use of our practice facilities. For more information on memberships and the course, check us out online at golfwoodward.com.
Hey, Lance Taylor from The Next Round to tell you about my friends at Michelson Laser Vision, located conveniently UAB Highlands. Almost 20 years ago, I went in for the procedure. Only took 12 minutes for both eyes. When I went in, I had 2200 vision. I was legally blind. Now I have 20/15 vision, still 19 years later. Make the call today. Schedule a hassle-free consultation, 969-8100. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, Michelson Laser Vision. Make sure you tell them The Next Round sent you, 969-8100 or MichelsonLaserVision.com. Spring weather is here, and our friends at Hemp Hill Services are offering a $69 HVAC tune-up plus 10% off any service call when you mention The Next Round. Call Adam, Chad, and the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Make sure your HVAC unit is ready to keep up with the changing weather. Hemp Hill Services, locally owned and operated independent train dealer. The team can service all makes and models. For all of your plumbing, heating, and cooling needs, call Hemp Hill Services. It's hard to stop a train. 205-229-2090 or hemphillservices.com. That's 205-229-2090, hemphillservices.com.
The wait is over. Tonali has arrived. Beautifully distinctive Italian styling and performance. Come test drive the all-new 2024 Alfa Romeo Tonali plug-in hybrid at Alfa Romeo of Birmingham. The all-new Tonali offers best-in-class horsepower and torque, fastest 0 to 60 times in its class, plus best-in-class range with full electric charge. And best of all, qualified Tonali leasees are eligible for up to $7,500 EV tax credit factored into your lease. Hurry down to Alfa Romeo of Birmingham and experience the all-new Tonali.
Golf season is here, and if you're looking for a great golf course with affordable rates, you need to check out the newly renovated Woodward Golf Club. Woodward Golf Club is a semi-private club with membership opportunities available, but is also open to the public. You can book tee times online at this hidden gem by going to golfwoodward.com. For only $195 per month, you can enjoy unlimited golf 7 days a week. Membership includes discounted cart fees, unlimited range balls, and the use of our practice facilities. For more information on memberships and the course, check us out online at golfwoodward.com.
Braves lose to the Nationals last night. Same two teams, 6:20 tonight at Truist. More on the Braves in just a second. Our friends at Storm Restoration Roofing want to remind you, I mean, I don't know about you guys. What was the storms like? Did you still in town for the storms yesterday morning?
Yeah.
I mean, look, power really doesn't go out a lot anymore, at least, in my house, but it went out.
We didn't get ours back until 12:47 yesterday.
That's about right
afternoon.
for me, yeah.
Yeah, it was out for a while.
80,000 people without power.
Yeah.
So
because
Alabama Power did a great job getting it back on.
Yeah, where I am and where you guys are, most everything is underground now.
Oh, yeah, it's all underground, yeah.
So, I don't know if you guys saw this, unfortunately, tragically.
Oh, I saw this story.
Yeah, 78-year-old lady, I think, at Mountain Brook.
Yeah.
Tree fell on her apartment, killed her.
I mean, that's just something you never think about.
And I just got those trees extracted. I guarantee you those things would have gone.
No,
They'd
no
all
doubt,
been down. It takes a lot. I mean, it's trash day on Tuesday, usually Monday for us, and my garbage can was packed. I mean, stuffed with some heavy stuff in it. I walked out to let the dogs out about 6:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
And they were all you see them down the street. Every garbage can was turned over.
Oh,
and I thought to
what
myself,
a mess.
I thought at first I was like, damn vandals. Ended up it was just still in.
Well, didn't everybody know that your garbage wouldn't go out on Monday because it was Memorial Day?
Yeah, you always get that day
I
delay.
was leaving town. I was leaving town, and everybody's out of the house. I had to take care of. I had to leave it, LT. But other people had theirs out too. Anyway, that storm blew through. If you had any storm damage, there's one person to call. That's Greg from Pell City Storm Restoration Roofing. He'll get on your roof and check everything out. Do you have any loose shingles up there? Do you have any problem with water entry points? Anything that could damage your home? He will take care of you. There's the number, 205-542-3531, 542-3531. A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau. Absolutely the best in the business. Insurance companies trust him. He'll repair storm damage. He'll check your roof out for free, no-cost roof inspection, and decide whether you need a new roof or not. Oftentimes, he tells our viewers, you don't need a new roof yet. You got 3 or 4 more years left, which is always great news, right? You can sort of plan for it at that point. He does it all. He's Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing. Let the record show. Let the record show.
This is very confused.
And I believe this to be true.
Right.
That I never, ever, ever, ever said the Braves were going to win the World Series this year. I remember it like it was yesterday that I said the Dodgers had a roster that was unbeatable this year, that everyone was playing for second.
Nick in the chat room, I blame Jim for all the Braves issues, he says.
Oh, he can. He can do all he wants, but you're misinformed at this point. Misinformed. Because I said Dodgers.
You did.
And it was
not like that.
Well, it was not even fair. The Dodgers were putting together this roster with Shohei, and they were paying,
By the way, Shohei's hurt.
Yeah. I was hoping it would do that for the Dodgers. But Dodgers, that's the team to beat.
Yeah, but you did say Acuna was going to win another MVP, didn't you?
I did not say that.
I really don't remember.
In fact, the only guy I said was going to have a great year for the Braves
Spencer Strider
is Chris Sale. And guess who's having a great year for the Braves?
Chris Sale.
This
guy's keeping a minute.
Guy's healthier than he's ever been. There's no way anything happens to Chris Sale this year.
Wow.
This guy's fantastic.
This is retribution on his part for Braves fans being upset with him.
I don't know.
Here's the deal. The Braves, correct me if I'm wrong, when they won their World Series most recently.
Did it without Acuna in 21.
Acuna was out.
Yeah.
Don't panic. You're that good. Your roster's
Alex
that good.
Anthopoulos did an incredible job, though, of going out, getting the right pieces. It all came together. Ain't happening this year.
Lance has already called it.
I mean, I just don't see it.
Are they going to make the playoffs?
Yeah, I think they'll make the post. It's still third best record in the National League.
Yep.
But, going into yesterday, you kind of hope that they would, like, the mental hurdle, they would somehow find a way to win that game, and they get doubled up yesterday.
I will wear the one, and I forget what year it was, when the Dodgers were trailing the Braves in the series 3-1, and we made a stake bet.
Yeah, I think it was 19.
Yeah, I'll wear that one. That was on me. That one was on me. And I'm not a Braves fan, but I was trying to get an easy stake there.
Right. Yep.
I mean, 3-1.
It was 3-1. The Braves just needed one more
and
win.
He was like, I think the Dodgers are going to come back and win this thing. And I was like, I will take that stake. I would do that again today and tomorrow and on Sunday. I'll wear that one. That was a landmine, but not this one.
Boy,
this
it
is
tough.
Ronald Acuna just being hurt again.
When you haven't made it out of the month of May and you've lost your number one starter in Strider, and now you have lost one of the top 2 or 3 players in Major League Baseball. Now, he hasn't had a great year. 4 home runs, 15 RBIs, hitting 250. I mean, he was struggling to begin with, but you felt like at any moment it was going to, let off that game with a double, and the next thing you know, he's out for the season.
I mean, there's a chance that God helped Snitker out here a little bit because he was going to have to platoon him at some point because he wasn't hitting. Wow. It's going to be hard to think. Hard to sit Acuna.
I mean, you're right.
Hard to sit him.
Yeah, you're right.
He was struggling.
But
they got better bats on the bench.
I fear for Acuna, though, that he is going to be one of these guys that we're like, man, if not for injuries, you should have seen Ronald Acuna.
Yeah, so flukish, though.
That's 2 ACLs.
Yeah,
already.
but you had now the left, and it was the right in 2021.
That's right. I mean,
that's the only thing for me. I know you guys, Willie Mays, the best player of all time.
Yeah.
Ken Griffey Jr. would have been the best player of all time.
That's what I'm saying. I think this is the way we'll talk about Ronald Acuna, not in best player of all time terms, but, man, if not for the injuries, you should have seen Ronald Acuna. If not for the injuries, that guy would have been something. He would have been one of the best players of our generation.
But now he would have repaired both knees on ACL.
Yeah.
And there was a saying back when Dr. Andrews was in his prime that Dr. Andrews did ACLs better than God did. He put them back stronger.
They used to say that.
Stronger than they came out.
But I will ask you, if he were a quarterback in the NFL draft, would he be a first rounder? I mean, I'm just saying.
If the Atlanta Falcons had to pick, yeah, because Michael Penix is there.
That's a good point, Jim. That's a good point. I'm saying the NFL, that scares, even though that saying has been out there, that they can actually build it back stronger than it was before, the way they redo them. Boy, I tell you what, the NFL doesn't believe that most of the time. Clearly the Falcons did.
Yeah.
Because you let a guy tear both ACLs.
But it was non-contact, basically just trotting off the base.
And he said I didn't hear anything pop, didn't feel bad. I think it's going to be fine.
And I know baseball, most injuries are no contact because there's not much contact in baseball. But the no contact ones are always the scariest ones. When I'm watching a football game and a guy goes down, no contact, and grabs his knee, I'm like, out for the year. I mean, that's my initial fear, is this guy's out for the year.
And he knows it.
Oh, yeah.
When you see the face.
That's what's weird, is after the game, though, he's like, you know what? The pain has gone away a little bit. And compared to when I tore my ACL before, that didn't happen. So there was actually some hope.
Yeah, I think he said, I think it's going to be fine.
There was some hope. And then the Braves announced a bruised knee, 10-day DL. And then by Sunday, when he had done the test, they announced he's out. I think he had given them some hope, though. What are you pointing at?
So Dunaway was pointing out, see the guys, the window washers? The dude is bouncing back and forth.
I can't Why did you show that to me? I can't look at that.
But it's like 6 guys all on one long rail.
Why is he
bouncing? And one of them is going back and forth, and he's, I estimate, about 11, 12 floors up.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. He's on the 16th floor.
He's on the 16th floor, and he's bungeed, and like there's a guy watching the window, and he just throws himself out and around that other guy.
Oh, I've got video on my social media.
On
Twitter and X.
I had not even noticed those guys.
I sent out a tweet earlier while you were setting up, Brown, over your head. I shot that video, and I said, here's the video. I shot it, and I said, with this quote, Dunaway, we'll wipe off the bracket challenge if you clean windows for
I
a day.
100% will.
I told him 10 minutes. Let's get out there with him.
Oh, my God.
But, if one side snaps, and you've seen it before, then a couple of guys tumble.
Yeah, I'm not going to
The other guys are hanging on.
I've not even noticed those guys.
What do these guys get hourly? It's got to be heavy, right?
A window washer is a tough gig.
Yeah. Meanwhile, that lady 2 floors up, she's out. God, I need to clean my deck. So
we were talking about this last night.
Like,
we've got a dream job. We really
a cush job.
But we were talking about, I was like, man, I like these long weekends. Can you imagine if you were like an accountant
No offense, accountants.
Yeah, no offense, accountants. But now, can you imagine if you had to, knowing your weekend's over and you got to go on the 16th floor and wash windows?
We were like, we're going to go do a show sitting by a pool for an On3 deal.
Talking to the Cavender twins.
Some guy's got to go push a pencil in an office for 8 hours. I'm like, we got it good. I could never do the window washing. That's impossible.
No, you could if you had to.
I don't think I could.
I don't think I could.
I don't know what I do, but
I think I probably, I don't know.
Yeah. Hey, in honor of our friends at Inverness Country Club, LT's got his shorts and
I do.
trunks on today.
I do. I thought it was going to be a pool party. That's
Peter
what they
Millar?
built it. Huh?
Peter Millar?
These are Michaels.
Michaels.
So, dude out of South Florida, he's got a really cool operation. But when you buy a pair from him, he'll call you up on the phone.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Can I check no on that box?
I really want a phone call. I just want you
He's just a nice guy. He just calls you, hey, this is Michael, and just wanted to thank you for your purchase.
Yeah,
pretty
how
cool.
about that?
Thank
That's
you,
nice.
Michael.
Yeah. All right, Michael.
Yeah. Thank you. Do I get one free for the call?
Anyway, I really don't like these because the Seahorse is not really featured like it should be. Like this was built as a seahorse bathing suit, but they get kind of lost, right?
Yeah, no. I would say it's more of a floral.
I don't know what the hell
I love the fact that we just followed up discussing we don't have a difficult job at Lance saying, the Seahorse is not featured as much as it should be on my shorts.
We've got too much time to think.
Hey, Inverness Country Club, though, I did not join our friends yesterday because I was coming up here.
You stood up, my friends. You ate up my pool invite and then stood them up.
No, I heard the whole story. And I told Brown the whole story, too. So they came over. Lauren and John came over to my pool on Sunday. And Lauren was like, is Dunaway coming over? And I was like, he's got an open invite. I was like, he's bitching about his back, so he's probably not. And
I've got an open invite. I don't know when you're there.
Well, you drive by when I'm not there. You told us last week.
I drove by to see if there was a party going on.
So
Jace throws better parties than you.
Oh, I'm sure he does. Well, I'm not going to say it on the air. I got to tell you guys something, though. But so Sisler told me, she was like, I know Dunaway's upset that we're inviting you guys out Monday, but we invited him out. And he said he couldn't come.
Yeah. I told him.
Typical Dunaway.
Yeah, I know.
Inverness Country Club, though. They were there yesterday. Fantastic club. They've been members for 3 years. Raving about it. Our man Aaron Suttle's a member out there. Find your sense of community at Inverness Country Club. They've got memberships that fit everyone, from the social to the golf, the sports. Maybe you travel for work or pleasure. Ask about that Heritage Plus option. John's got that. You can play at 37 other clubs across the country. Childcare, also a big plus. You and your wife want a day on the course or on the court. You can drop the kid. You want dinner on a Friday night, same thing. You work from home, you want to go work at the club, let them watch the kid. That is all possible right there. The best days happen at Inverness. To take a tour of the unbelievable club, call Erin today. Tell her the next round sent you. 205-991-8608. That's 205-991-8608 or online, iccalabama.com.
Okay, Rockstar, I'll need cut number 1 standing by here. I love it on this show and in this medium in general, when people get fat and happy,
right,
with the success that one of their programs are having, and maybe they're fans of a school or something and they don't really pay attention and they chirp a little bit about somebody or a coach or a player and they don't really know what they're talking about. You would say in the chat room over the last couple of weeks, softball coach Patrick Murphy at Alabama has not been getting good rave reviews.
Nope.
In our chat room.
Yeah, a lot of people want him fired.
Yeah, we did. I mean, it was 3, 4, 5 different people. Once somebody brought it up, people were jumping on and piling on Pat Murphy.
Yeah. One guy, even after I posted their win on Saturday to get a deciding game 3, 14 innings, they battled Tennessee, number 3 overall national seed Tennessee on the road to get a game deciding trip to the College World Series on Sunday. He's Les Miles. And I was like, this guy is now making his 15th trip to the Women's College World Series in a time where the parity in that sport continues to spread out. It used to be just West Coast, and now it's spread out all over the country. The SEC is as competitive as it comes. Every team made the NCAA tournament, and 2 teams that are coming in, Texas and Oklahoma, were number 1 and number 2 seeds. Alabama beats Tennessee 2 of 3. They're going back to the Women's World Series. They'll open the whole thing up Thursday against UCLA.
That's pretty amazing because Scott Forster, our expert on softball, said Tennessee was the one team out of the SEC he felt had a chance to win the World Series.
The pitcher of the year. And Alabama left so many runners on base. If we can get Forster's microphone, he can chime in here. But it wasn't like Alabama fluked these wins out. In fact, it was becoming a bigger upset that Alabama didn't win game one. I mean, horrible play at second base that allowed Tennessee to score. And just one inning after another, Forster, Alabama continued to leave runners on base. Whoever was pitching for Tennessee, Alabama was getting base runners.
Yeah, 100%. Bama easily could have had the first game, too. No doubt.
Yep. So Murphy has this team back to the Women's College World Series. Here's Patrick Murphy. If you don't think he heard some of the fans, listen to the conversation he had with his team during this run and afterwards. Here is the celebration on the field, and then head coach Patrick Murphy talking about redemption in the postgame.
You know, the word for me the last couple of weeks was redemption. And, you know, we had our first losing season in 28 years in the SEC. And, you know, I kept saying and preaching that the best was yet to come. You got to believe it. And it started with me. I had to believe it as well. And one day at practice, we decided to put up, everybody's going to do one thing the rest of the year to help the team win. And mine was to have a short-term memory. Because if you knew me, if you really knew me, you would know that I don't have that. I dwell. And I committed that day. And good, bad, or ugly, I was going to forget. So if somebody had a bad at-bat, you're going to get them next time. And they bought in. And now, like Alex said, the 15th World Series in our history, the most gratifying year. I said that last year, but I'm going to repeat it this year. The most gratifying year of my career is right now.
Back-to-back trips to the Women's College World Series, and there's just 8 teams that get there. Alabama football lost early. Nobody thought this was Nick Saban's best team. Got him to a 4-team college football playoff. They lost in the semifinals. That's disappointing for Alabama fans. Do I think this softball team is going to win the Women's World Series? I don't. But they had a losing record in conference play, and they're one of 8 teams still playing. Just like the Alabama basketball team, they lost 11 games in the regular season. They got embarrassed here in Nashville, and then they went on to make it to the Final Four.
I probably know the answer before I ask, just because Alabama didn't finish the deal in football. But if Alabama baseball was to win this regional and then win a super regional and go to Omaha, could you make an argument this was the best year in Alabama sports?
Probably
history?
so, yeah.
Because if you've got a team that's in the college football playoff, the Final Four, Women's College World Series, and Men's College World Series, I mean,
but
Dunaway,
Dunaway, I get some of the criticism, though. He pointed it out, and you have to, the 15th Women's College World Series, and they've got how many national championships?
2012.
I mean, that is we talk
more Mark Martin had.
I know we talk about it all the time with Mike Martin.
Yeah,
the legendary Florida State coach, who is the legendary Florida State coach and went to a ton of College World Series and never won one. I mean, I know that shows you they're hard to win. I get it. You know, Augie Garrido, I think, won 5, 3 at Fullerton and 2 at Texas. Some guys get it, some guys don't. I don't know. I mean, I get. Pat Murphy's complicated. Pat Murphy, major program, what it is. But I understand the fans that are like, man, 15 College World Series trips, and you've only got the one championship. I understand
Lincoln
that.
Riley at Oklahoma.
Yep.
Right? Never got one.
No, he did not.
But he had them there.
Every year.
Ryan Day
has gotten them there a lot. Never
I mean,
won one.
not everybody.
Patrick won one.
He did.
He's won one.
Not everybody's Kirby Smart and Nick Saban. I get that.
Who did you say he's won? Oh, Patrick Murphy.
Yeah. He's won one, 2012.
Yeah. I mean, he's still going to go down as one of the greats.
Yeah. I mean, in the nation, he's one of the greats. And obviously I can't name you. I think there was one coach before him at Alabama.
Maybe.
But there's only one coach before him.
Who is the great? Is it the chick from Oklahoma, the Patty?
Oh, it's got to be now. I mean, they've won 3 straight. They're going for a 4-peat.
Yeah, that's hard to do, man. You mentioned the parity.
Yeah.
It has changed a lot.
It's spreading out a little bit.
Can we just quickly, because I bet Lance never seen this. I know I hadn't, quickly discuss how the game ended, just real quick. Like, I have not. This is the only softball I've watched all year. I saw that it had gone to the 7th, and Alabama had the lead. I'm like, I'm going to see how this thing finishes up. So I'll flip over on ESPN.
4-0 going into the bottom of the 7th.
You weren't watching, I
Nope.
assume. All right, Alabama changes pitchers, 2 runners on, and it's 4-1 at the time.
4-1 at the time.
Alabama changes pitchers. Girl tries to heat her up inside, and the batter, not immediately, like for a second, stood there and then acted like she got hit and starts running down to first. The umpire, to my knowledge, never gave the dead ball.
No, he thought it was a ball,
Yeah,
but not a hit by pitch.
He called it a ball. So I've never seen this happen. So she goes down to first. Well, the girl on first starts going to second, and Alabama heads up is like, wait a minute, what's going on there? So they tag that girl. So if you call,
So she's out.
she should be. Well, but now Scott made the point. There was like one angle that SEC now or ESPN had that showed the pants moving a little bit. They only showed the replay one time. I don't know why, because it was the only replay that even remotely looked like she got hit. So they got to replay and rule hit by pitch. But if they don't rule hit by pitch, they got a mess on their hands.
It was not conclusive, but they were going to have to call that a ball and call that base runner out because she left the base.
I don't know what.
So you see a little movement with the uniform on the hit by pitch, possibly?
Minor
Maybe.
movement, maybe a little bit. My thing is, what's your first base coach doing? Your first
That's
base
right.
coach has to be in control of that situation. Like,
Stay right here.
You stay on the base. You stop right there. You don't come all the way to the base. Let's get this sorted out. I don't know what your first base coach is doing.
Most of them, I don't know what they're doing.
Well, you got to be in control of that situation.
Yeah.
I know that.
Yeah, but they end up getting out of that inning, including facing one of the best hitters in the history of the game for Tennessee, who came up, and they got her out again. So congratulations to Alabama softball and all the SEC teams that made it in baseball. What a great weekend in Hoover for the SEC baseball tournament. Alabama's in as a 2 seed. They're at Florida State and Tallahassee. Tennessee is the 1 overall they host in baseball. Kentucky's the 2 overall they host. A&M's the 3rd overall they host. Arkansas is the 5th overall they host. Georgia's the 7th overall they host. LSU's on the road at North Carolina. Vandy's on the road at Clemson. South Carolina's on the road at NC State. Florida's on the road at Oklahoma State. And Mississippi State's on the road at Virginia. That's SEC baseball. The NCAA tournament is set.
I put the over-under at 3.5 SEC teams in Omaha.
I'd take the over.
I would take the.
You got 5 hosting regionals.
Yeah, only 8's going.
You got 11 in the whole tournament.
Yeah.
I'm going to take the over.
I mean, 4 will make it. I think 4.
I'd take the over.
I would take 4. What's scary for North Carolina is LSU's hot.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I mean, there was a time LSU, they were dead on the vine. They weren't getting in the tournament.
Yeah, not at all. Not at all. All right, there you go. There's a little on the diamond talk about Acuna. Talk about Bama softball and a little tribute to SEC baseball. We continue on here, brought to you by our friends at MyBookie, mybookie.ag. They're always on the road with us. They're always on your app too, Brownie.
They are indeed. MyBookie.ag. Listen, you've probably been there before. You got that casino trip planned and life happens and it gets interrupted. Well, they've got a new improved online casino. You can play right there in your own home. Truly realistic casino experience featuring the latest in slots, progressive jackpots, live dealer action, all for the comfort of your home. The MyBookie Casino provides a Las Vegas experience when the action is in your hands. You don't even have to put on pants, man. You can sit right there in your underwear in your home and play those casino games. I don't know why I always point that out. It's kind of weird to do it, but it's up to you. Start a MyBookie account today, mybookie.ag. Get that generous sign-up bonus when you use code NEXTROUND. Code NEXTROUND at mybookie.ag gets you that sign-on bonus. Also, a host of exclusive VIP and revamped loyalty program perks. You play more, you can win more. mybookie.ag. The 40 and 40 team coming up later, presented by MyBookie, mybookie.ag, code NEXTROUND.
Follow The Next Round on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Next Round Live.
Remember the name Way to Wellness if you're battling weight loss in your life. I'm Jim Dunaway from The Next Round. There was a time I was over 216 pounds until Way to Wellness helped me lose 45 pounds, and now for over 2 years, they've helped me keep that weight off. Here's their website, aplanforme.com, aplanforme.com. That's a great name for a website because there's no cookie-cutter plan. Everything is designed specifically for you. No contract, no sign-up fees, and your first consultation is free at Way to Wellness.
Every day, someone is ridiculed and mocked for the clothing they chose to wear. It's a harsh reality we all must face. But you have the chance to change all of that with one visit to nextround.store. For just a few minutes of browsing, you will observe so many clothing options, from hats to hoodies to t-shirts. Please, for yourself or someone you love, go to nextround.store and embrace the warmth of true attire.
There is no better place to watch your favorite sporting events and enjoy great food than one of the 3 great Birmingham locations of Walk-Ons. The TVs are everywhere with your favorite sports, and the menu is second to none. From the great appetizers like the waffle cheese fries to the Avery Island salad, handhelds like the all-new chicken bomber, bistro specialties with a special taste of the bayou, the amazing hand patty burgers, the great po' boys, and the specialty drinks. Visit any of the 3 great Birmingham locations of Walk-Ons: Greystone, Stadium Trace and Hoover, and the brand new location in Trussville.
Hey, let me tell you about our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Compassionate and comprehensive urological care with 35 physicians, 17 locations across Alabama. Their patient-centered approach to all of your urological needs. Remember, they've got that new men's health center. It is beautiful, helping men with a wide range of sensitive male issues in a comfortable environment. You can always go online, visit urologycentersalabama.com, schedule an appointment with one of their many urologists today.
You got to look your best to play your best, and our friends at Bandwagon can help your team find the perfect uniforms for that upcoming season. Bandwagon is with you every step of the way, from developing your team logo design to choosing from their multitude of samples. You name the sport, they can make it happen. To get your uniform journey started, you can shoot them a message on any social media platform or check out their website, bandwagonsports.com. That's bandwagonsports.com. Next round listeners, it's time to jump on the bandwagon.
Golf season is here, and if you're looking for a great golf course with affordable rates, you need to check out the newly renovated Woodward Golf Club. Woodward Golf Club is a semi-private club with membership opportunities available, but is also open to the public. You can book tee times online at this hidden gem by going to golfwoodward.com. For only $195 per month, you can enjoy unlimited golf 7 days a week. Membership includes discounted cart fees, unlimited range balls, and the use of our practice facilities. For more information on memberships and the course, check us out online at golfwoodward.com.
Back with you on the next round, live from Nashville at the On3 Sports Elite event they have going on here. Top 45, 50 football athletes in town in Nashville, and they're going through a seminar, measurements and weights and interviews and consultings with financial folks and NIL legislators and things like that. Just everything they need to know about being one of the top prospects in college football. These are the athletes that will commit over the next few weeks and then sign at the signing period in December, the best of the best in college football in Nashville this week with our friends at On3 Sports. The show being brought to you as well by our friends Dr. B. Got LT's hair looking great poolside today.
Yeah, I was asked about it over the weekend. Hey, is that really working? And I'm like, absolutely. Brown just went in a little over a month ago, got that consultation. Have you started your treatment?
I have, yeah. I've been away from home a little bit, so I haven't been able to be as consistent as I want. But I'm like you, I'm aiming for 3 30-minute sessions each week.
Yeah, non-invasive, sitting on the couch, watching Netflix, whatever. That's all I'm doing. My hair has more than doubled in thickness. Make the phone call that I made. Schedule that consultation today. 205-319-0316. That's 205-319-0316. Our friend Dr. B, for more than 20 years, women and men have turned to Dr. B for a range of cosmetic and reconstructive procedures. He will use that experience, his advanced training, genetic testing to help his patients fully understand the procedures they are considering. Call him today, 205-319-0316. Again, T3hair.net for more information. Sitting at breakfast this morning and looking out the window at everybody letting their dogs out. There's a residential right across from here, and I was asking what a one-bedroom is. What do you think it is down here?
To rent?
Yeah.
So this is in the Gulch area. For the W Nashville is in the Gulch.
I'm going to say $4,500 a month.
No, that's heavy. It was a little over 3, but for a 2, it's about $4,500.
Yeah. I like this area. I like the Gulch.
Yeah,
this is LA pricing, by the way.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And that's just the way Nashville's growing right now.
If you live in the Gulch area, as I walked over here from our hotel to where our set is at the W, I probably passed 18, 19 single women who are out walking.
I think it is a target-rich environment. Yeah. I would agree.
Yeah, I passed 0 dudes except a construction working site, and they were building nothing. They were just watching women walk.
So, there's one thing that is going on in Nashville.
Women walk.
It is construction.
Yeah.
You can't move this town without construction.
One guy was stirring concrete. He was just sitting there doing this.
Where do you got that? Oh, we're not in pouring concrete.
We were at the beach for spring break. There was one dude that was doing that all day, just right off the boardwalk, just watching all the girls. He never moved.
Yeah.
Like 8 hours.
Fantastic there. And there was this young lady that was just walking by. I was only looking, that was an aggressive shoot.
Yeah, it was. Her heel was about it was about a 4-inch heel.
Made it look like she wouldn't miss a rebound in the WNBA, though.
And she had a little romper outfit on. I was like, that's aggressive.
Well, I'm wondering, you see the pink awning over the top of that parking lot? I'm wondering if that's what they call a gentleman's club.
Don't know.
Well, I've just seen some interesting people walking to and from cars.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's early for that? Or?
Yeah. Or late.
I mean, depending on how you're looking at it.
Work's over.
Yeah.
This is one of those towns, because when we came in last night wondering what was going to be open, and I'm like, damn, it's basically East Coast Las Vegas. Everything's going to be open.
Yeah. All right. Nashville, Tennessee. That's where we are. We talked SEC meetings earlier. We'll have some guests coming by for the Elite On3 Sports Camp in a moment, but time now for 4 Downs. Brought to you by our friends at Slice. Great locations for lunch today if you want to get out.
Yeah, there are 5 locations for you. The original in Lakeview, Montevallo, Vestavia, Crestline Park, and now Homewood. Stop in, see the Bajaya brothers. Tell them the guys from the Next Round sent you local pizza, local ingredients. You're going to absolutely love it. From the hot mama to the soul pie. For more information, slicebirmingham.com.
First down.
If I may, can I just see your card? And I just want to see if I can pick out one word other than 4 Downs. See how you're.
I got the birthdays on the top line right there.
I got 1, 2 names, 3 names. I got 3 names right here. Easy.
Yeah, I was
your
trying.
handwriting's getting better.
I was trying to record something this morning, and reading my own handwriting, I was like, I couldn't make some of it out.
Yeah, when I'm on the road scrambling fast, mine is not as neat. That's a little scrambly today.
You normally have good penmanship.
Justin?
Minnesota, Justin Jefferson.
Oh, okay.
I'm old now. I have to remind people. Remind myself who Justin Jefferson played for. Yeah.
Did we do first down?
We did.
Yeah, he played him.
So let's go Michael Orr, 38 years old today. If I asked you better career, Michael Orr or actor Michael Shannon?
Give me some things Michael Shannon.
Well, you remember him probably most from Boardwalk Empire.
I don't know. Did you watch Boardwalk? Yeah.
Wow, Dunwich got that.
Yeah, he was in Mud. He's been in a lot. He's a really good character actor. He's been nominated for 2 Academy Awards.
He plays like stern, angry, straight arrow guy really well. I don't know why I did my voice like that.
Was he an alien human form until his head popped off in Men in Black?
Maybe.
Don't think so.
That's
I think he was in Men in Black.
Well, he was in Take Shelter.
You got that.
What's that, Rockstar?
He was in Take Shelter, which is a great movie. He was the awesome brother in the Leo DiCaprio movie. Is it Revolutionary Road or Reservation Road?
Revolutionary. He was nominated for Academy Award for that.
He was rough on that.
Yeah. Dunaway's on it.
No, I think you drilled that. I really do think it was Michael Shannon, like maybe his first role.
Wow.
In Men in Black.
I'm going to go Michael Shannon here. Michael Orr.
He was an All-American, though.
He was an All-American.
He was a first-round pick, 8 years in the NFL, and he won a Super Bowl. So not a bad career.
Not a bad career, but 8 years in the NFL, first-round pick, you expect more than that.
I still think Michael Shannon is a really, really good actor, and I think he will find another Academy Award nomination. I'm going to go Michael Shannon.
Yeah, I'm going to go Michael Shannon, too. My problem with Michael Orr is I don't like that movie, and it shades the way I think about him.
I agree. And I don't like the recent lawsuit and the fight going on there. So I will not save the graphic. I will go.
You're going to go Michael Shannon
too.
All right.
Second down.
What will Tennessee win a national championship in first? Baseball or basketball?
Oh, baseball. Vitella, he's turned them in. The one thing they don't have is a national championship.
So they're the number 1 seed, which means they're not going to win it because we haven't had a number 1 seed win it in 25 years.
Yeah.
1999 Miami.
But, Rick Barnes has he's got a history in March, too. It is not great. And, Tony Vitella has turned them into the best program in the SEC. The only thing missing is that national championship, which is interesting that I say that because State and Ole Miss have recently won a national championship and LSU. But Tennessee has been the most consistent, really good program. But they haven't won. Yeah. But I will go Tennessee baseball.
I probably would go Tennessee baseball.
Well, you're afforded a loss, too.
Yeah.
You are.
I think I would go Tennessee baseball, and it could be this year. So you get a crack at it before Barnes and Tennessee take the court again.
It could be, but I mean, Tennessee basketball has been consistently good lately.
They have been. It's just the only thing that bothers me there is Rick Barnes' postseason record.
Yeah, it may not be under Rick Barnes.
Yeah,
I'll go baseball.
Third down.
Percy Harvin, 36 years old today. Glenn Rice, 57. Who had the better college career? Percy Harvin at Florida or Glenn Rice at Michigan?
Glenn Rice was good at Michigan, but I'm going to say Percy Harvin for me. Bo Jackson was this way with me, watching Auburn play with Bo Jackson. Herschel Walker was this way, but to me, Percy Harvin was this way. There was never a time, if I was cheering against Florida, that Percy Harvin touched the football anywhere on the field that I was not fearful that it was going to go all the way.
And I thought he was going to be a great NFL player, and there were a lot of things that contributed. He had the migraine issues.
Yep.
was the main thing. And I thought he was going to be a tremendous NFL player, Percy Harvin.
Yeah, can't miss. You would have thought. Now, Glenn Rice ended up being a can't miss with Miami Heat. I would go Glenn Rice just based on this. He carried that Michigan team to a national championship with an interim coach in Steve Fisher. Percy Harvin was second, third best player on that team.
Behind Tebow and
Aaron Hernandez. I mean, Percy Harvin.
Hernandez.
Now, he did win multiple national championships, right?
Yeah.
Or did he only win one?
No, he only won the
one.
He wasn't part of 6? Or?
I don't think so. I think he was only part of 8.
Yeah, but
he was good, man.
And Glenn Rice, didn't he shack up with Sarah Palin?
That was the rumor.
Well, he was in the Great Alaskan Shootout. They ran across each other.
Yeah, that was the rumor. Rockstar, was that ever confirmed?
That I do not know. I do miss the Sarah Palin news updates. She doesn't like to read newspapers.
Did Tina Fey ever play Sarah Palin?
Yes, and there's a popular actress named Lisa Ann that played her too. So you should see her filmography.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Glenn, I hope you enjoyed it. We're just great people in Alaska, and I just wanted to make you feel good.
Doggone it.
Doggone it.
It really wasn't awful, Dunaway. That was not an awful Sarah Palin.
I think we can say this. Dunaway in Nashville is better than Dunaway in Birmingham.
Yeah, I mean, so far, we're an hour into the show, but I would agree.
I was really good in the SEC basketball tournament with Little T, and I was
your hydration, man.
And you got Michael Shannon right. I mean, you never get those at Birmingham.
I tried to get this show to move up here 8 years ago.
You did.
Yep.
You did.
Fourth down.
The great Jerry West, 86 years old today. You guys know he was in Sonny Smith's wedding?
I did know that.
I did not know
that.
Yeah. Ultimately, better career, Jerry West, the logo, or Luka Doncic, who can actually close out Minnesota and get to his first NBA Finals tonight.
And win you a steak. Yeah. It's 3-0. I mean, that's a steak for you.
Oh,
Nobody's ever come back.
Yeah, it's done.
Nobody's ever come back.
By the way, so they're not going to play for 8 days. Now, Boston's not going to play for 9 days, no matter what. Yeah. But they're not going to play for 8 days. Anybody.
Don't forget the NBA's going on.
I know.
Well, unless the T-Wolves win tonight. By the way,
if Dallas wins.
we do have the side up at Lance'sLock.com.
Uh-oh. That lets me know who you think it's going to be tonight. But
does it?
I don't know. I would say that Jerry West still a better career than Luka will end up being.
I would go Jerry West. He's got, I don't know how many titles Jerry West has got, but he's got multiple titles. He is the logo.
I mean, it's hard to beat the
logo.
logo.
I don't think you can ever change that, can you?
No. I mean, Jerry West is going to be the logo for eternity. It's too good of a logo.
But just think about also the front office career he's had.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he's been
Memphis,
remarkable.
Yeah.
L.A. too.
Yep.
L.A. he helped.
Yep.
Memphis, he's done such a great job.
Front office. He was the guy, and I think I told you this story in the summer of '96 when the Lakers traded Vlade Divac for Kobe Bryant. I'm like, what in the hell is Jerry West doing?
Yep.
Like, I've watched his Kobe. I watched a little ESPN2 action. I was like,
this guy can't
he
play.
ain't all that.
But it was Jerry West that said.
It was Jerry West that did it.
Yeah.
And then he went out and got Shaquille.
That's our 4 Downs today, brought to you by our friends at Slice.
Yeah, 5 locations. Get in and see the Bajalia Brothers, local pizza, local ingredients. Get you a slice and a salad today. The original the original in Lakeview, Vestavia, Montevallo, Crestline Park, now Edgewood. For more information, slicebirmingham.com.
2 more great sponsors to tell you about in just 1 second, but I did want to mention, while we were talking NBA there, the passing of Bill Walton. Bill Walton dies at the age of 71. If we have time today, announcers that maybe you didn't like, but were glad that they existed.
Glad you framed it like that, because I brought it to Brown last night. I was like, we were having the discussion, and I was like, man, you were hard on Bill Walton.
I did not like his shtick. I'm not going to pretend I did just because of his past.
Yeah, I didn't like watching games that he was announcing, but I'm glad it happened. But Bill Walton, the player, two-time NBA champion, MVP, finals MVP, he was the reason why the Portland Trailblazers, when he finally got healthy, won their world championship in the mid-'70s. Then he was a role player with the Celtics and won 2 with UCLA when you could only play 3 years.
Yeah, but I think he was like 86-4 in his career.
Was part of an 88-game winning streak at UCLA. He did it all and was a great announcer, 71 years of age, lost his battle with cancer.
Well, and look, and he was, say what you want. His stick a lot of people didn't enjoy it, including Brown. I don't think you did. I really was indifferent to it. I thought it was a little goofy, but he was himself. He never changed. Everybody that was around him said he was just an incredible guy, like a really good human being. And I didn't even know he was sick.
Yeah, that's the thing I will say is while I did not like the act during the games, I had to turn him off. I did like the fact that he was who he was and he did not care what you thought.
Yeah.
And I respect that in a person.
Yeah, absolutely. So Bill Walton will be missed, age 71 for him. That gets us to past the top of the hour. We head to hour number 2, being brought to you by 2 great sponsors. One of them, HydroLive. LT will tell you again about HydroLive in a second after Brownie mentions our friends at Bandwagon. Boy, I tell you, all the Little League travel teams and all-star teams going into the summer, it's so cool to see them running around the park in their uniforms. Great place to get the uniforms, our friends at Bandwagon.
That's right. I mean, they can take you start to finish in that whole uniform process. They do great work there. And you can go visit them in Birmingham, Cahaba Heights, and Edgewood. The best in-shop sporting goods you'll find, the best apparel you'll find. Top-of-the-line equipment, top-of-the-line clothing brands. They've got what you need to make that trip to the beach. Chubby's, Bird Dogs, Task, Southern Tide. Bandwagon has everything you need for the summer ahead. Cahaba Heights and Edgewood in the Birmingham area. Next round, it is time to jump on the bandwagon.
And remember our friends at HydroLife Therapy. If you've had that long Memorial Day weekend, you need to get rehydrated. Our friends at HydroLife Therapy, they can do it for you. IV therapy, B12 injections, cryotherapy, compression therapy, all under one roof. IV treatment packed with nutrients to increase energy, reduce stress and anxiety, boost your immune system, and much more. Ask about the membership packages. Members get great rewards. You can recoup that IV membership fee in just one visit. HydroLife Therapy open 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. 2 locations in Birmingham, the original in Homewood, Highway 119 in Greystone, also Tuscaloosa location. For more information, hydrolifetherapy.com. Make sure you mention the next round, and you're going to get 20% off all the great services from our friends at HydroLife Therapy.
Take the next round anywhere you go with official Next Round gear. Buy yours today at nextround.store.
There is no better place to watch your favorite sporting events and enjoy great food than one of the 3 great Birmingham locations of Walk-Ons. The TVs are everywhere with your favorite sports, and the menu is second to none. From the great appetizers like the waffle cheese fries to the Avery Island salad, handhelds like the all-new chicken bomber, bistro specialties with a special taste of the bayou, the amazing hand-patty burgers, the great po' boys, and the specialty drinks. Visit any of the 3 great Birmingham locations of Walk-Ons: Greystone, Stadium Trace and Hoover, and the brand new location in Trussville.
Stallions fans, your undefeated Birmingham Stallions are back at Protective Stadium this Saturday at 7 p.m. The Stallions take on the Houston Roughnecks for Hats Off to Heroes. Fans who purchase our Hats Off to Heroes ticket package will receive an exclusive camo hat. With only 2 home games left this season, don't miss your chance to cheer on your Birmingham Stallions. Let's pack Protective, Birmingham. Tickets start at just $10 and are available at theufl.com. That's theufl.com.
Maybe you follow us on Instagram, Facebook, X, LinkedIn, or TikTok. While we're changing the game yet again, Tyler's Telegrams has been developed exclusively for you.
Hi, this is the lovable boy you know as Tyler the Intern. I'm a businessman now. I will come directly to your door and tell you every time a new piece of TNR content drops. For the low price of $740,000, you can be notified by me, one of the biggest stars of the next round, about that thing you missed. Sure, the rest of those social media services are free, but so is radio, and we all know how well that's trending.
Tyler's Telegrams is currently operating exclusively in Bibb County. Other social media platforms are available everywhere.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the next round to tell you about my friends at Michelson Laser Vision, located conveniently UAB Highlands. Almost 20 years ago, I went in for the procedure. Only took 12 minutes for both eyes. When I went in, I had 2200 vision. I was legally blind. Now I have 20/15 vision, still 19 years later. Make the call today. Schedule a hassle-free consultation. 969-8100. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, Michelson Laser Vision. Make sure you tell them the next round sent you. 969-8100 or MichelsonLaserVision.com.
It's time to pull the trigger on the Next Round merch that you've been eyeing. We know there's a lot to choose from at nextround.store, so here's a few of our favorite picks. If you want to match LT and Brown, go with the TNR logo hoodie and throw in one of Dunaway's favorite hats. Any of them will do. The Backroom's go-to is the classic logo t-shirt, while my personal favorite is the light blue TNR crew neck. All of these items can be found at nextround.store and are EG approved. Rest assured, your order will be packed with lots of love from us here at the Next Round. Head over to nextround.store to start filling up your cart.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, and Rockstar. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
Back in Nashville at the On3 Sports Elite event that is going on here with the top 50 soon to be signed college football players. They'll sign in signing day coming up in December. The SEC meeting is also going on in Destin, about 6.5 hours south of here. Greg Sankey saying yesterday he would welcome a national standard for college sports. Quote, I think Congress has still an opportunity to use the structure of this settlement to enact legislation to strengthen the future of college sports. That is Greg Sankey talking to Heather Dinich of ESPN down at the SEC meetings that go on this time every year, the spring meetings, where they do a lot of the business, the lawmaking, if you will, the rules, and all the coaches end up down there, and they talk about a lot of stuff. And Greg Sankey, one thing with this NCAA ruling that we said on Friday before our show ended, one thing it does, it keeps the NCAA in business for a long, long time now because they're helping with this payment for the next 10 years. So I think the NCAA hangs around for at least 10 more years to pay off this settlement.
Wow. 10 more years, you think, huh?
I do, because they're on the
probably.
hook for 41% or more of this
It's been
multi-billion-dollar
10 years.
settlement.
Hard to believe Sankey's been the commissioner for 10 years.
I know, I would agree with that. It's been a heck of a 10 years. So do you believe then that will put minimum 10 years before the SEC or Big Ten ever think about breaking away?
I think the NCAA eventually will work with the SEC and the Big Ten on how they can legislate themselves when it comes to football.
Right.
Well, remember this settlement, there are no scholarship restrictions anymore. That's part of the settlement.
Yeah.
There's no restrictions on that. That'll be decided by the market. There's so much freedom now for these power schools to do what they want to do.
Why leave?
Yeah, I don't know if they have to leave right now.
The only thing the power schools are missing is the biggest moneymaker the NCAA has is the basketball tournament. And you only get a sliver of that. You get the same sliver if you're Alabama that Long Beach State gets if you play a game. You get the same sliver if you're Auburn that Nebraska Omaha gets if they play a game.
If I asked you if we were doing a national poll, if we were having a national election of college sports fans, they would be okay with the power conferences breaking off in football and doing their own thing, right?
Yes.
There's no way they would get 10% of the vote on changing the NCAA basketball.
They would not. But let me ask you this. If you've got two tournaments and one is comprised of the Power 5 teams, the Dukes, North Carolinas, Kansas, Kentucky's of the world, and one is comprised of the mid-majors, which one are you going to watch more of?
Well, I'm going to watch the other one, but nobody
hold the cards.
Nobody wants us to choose.
Nope. It's going to be bad. I'm not saying it's going to be good, but I'm saying what the NCAA knows is if Duke, North Carolina, Kansas, Kentucky, if their conferences say, hey, we're out, we're doing our own thing, that tournament's gone.
Yeah, I mean, just the two best days by far that Thursday, Friday.
I agree. And that would be the one thing I don't want to lose. But the NCAA is well aware of this.
And sadly, it's not about who wins. It's who gets upset. That's the only reason. That's what makes Thursday and Friday so good. It's 11 a.m. until 11 p.m.
And you don't have those upsets if you've got nothing but Power 5.
No, you don't. It loses everything.
You do, but you've seen it's just made up then of.
But NC State beating Kansas.
Of some power name broker that's having an average year that gets beat by a good team.
You don't get any more Butlers and Wisconsin Milwaukees and people like that.
Yale shocking Auburn.
Yale shocking. Oh, yeah. You don't get any of that. You don't get, what was it, Wofford beating Virginia? You don't get any of that. And that would be unfortunate. I do not want to lose that. And I don't think you'll lose it because it's not in the best interest of the power conferences or the NCAA to lose that. They'll figure something out on that one day.
Later on in the show, we will show you my official measurement that is not going to be contested. We're going to stand with that official measurement here at the On3 Elite. We did that moments ago. Also, Brad writes in. Brad says, Dunaway is pitching a perfect show through 1 hour.
Oh, you're not supposed to say that.
Y'all going to have to completely ignore him the last hour if he makes it.
Oh, we can do that.
Yeah, nobody talks it that way when he comes to the dugout.
We got a bar and TVs back here. It looks like this is typical of a W, though. The poolside DJ.
Oh, yeah. They told me there was going to be a DJ behind us, and I said, he's not starting before 12? Oh, he's not starting before 12.
Oh, I just wanted to see it just for Dunaway's sake.
Yep.
Oh, I'd be okay with that. I like that kind of music. I like all kinds of music.
Yeah.
I also love our friends at Inverness Country Club. You think this pool is good. Wait till you hang out at Inverness Country Club pool. It is fantastic.
Yeah, look, it's a hidden gem out there. If you're looking for something to do this summer, it's a great way to network, meet new friends. There is something for everyone at Inverness Country Club. Write this number down. Really want you to call Aaron and at least go take a tour. It's great for the entire family. So think about this. You want to play golf all the time. Talking to Dunaway's buddy John, he said he plays at least 3 times a week out there. And if your wife is getting upset about that, guess what? She can go out there. She can lay out by the pool. She can take the kid, drop the kid off. She can sit out there, read a book, have a cocktail. Child care is a big plus. But write the number down, 205-991-8608. Call Aaron. Tell her the next round sent you. She's going to give you an absolutely free tour of the grounds there. You're going to love it. Inverness Country Club. Find your sense of community at Inverness Country Club. Again, social memberships, the sports membership, the golf membership. Best days happen in Inverness. Call today, 205-991-8608, and tell Aaron the next round sent you.
We'll do our 40 and 40 team in just a second, but some chat room chatter going on.
So people are asking about official measurements. What are we talking about? So we're at the On3 Elite event, and just to our right, the staff at On3 are getting the official weights, heights, hand sizes of every single big athlete that comes through here.
Top 50 recruits.
Top 50 recruits. So we have finally settled the long-running debate on this show. We'll get to it later. What is Dunaway's actual height? He says he's touching 6 foot.
My driver's license says I'm 6 foot.
That's right. Dunaway's driver's
And I've said it before, guys lie about their height on the driver's license. Women lie about their weight.
So we did not.
My height was exactly what I thought it would be.
Mine a touch shorter than I have always said, just a touch. Dunaway's, we'll let the record show coming up later on. We've actually got video.
We'll see video of that coming up in a little bit. All right. Let's jump into a couple of college football notes brought to you by our friends at Way to Wellness, your journey to healthy living. Our friends at Way to Wellness will help you jumpstart your weight loss, but also do a lot more. They can help you control blood pressure and also cholesterol. You can get a free, no-cost consultation with Leslie and her board-certified team, just like the folks at the Next Round did in this video that you're looking at right now. Go by there and talk to her about what Way to Wellness can do for you when it comes to your health and your eating patterns. It all works. Our friends from The Meltdown, Lunsford and Melton, are doing it as well. They got a new live show today at 2 o'clock on all of our platforms there. But Way to Wellness, no contracts, no sign-up fee. That first consultation is free. Go to their website, aplanforme.com, aplanforme.com. It's Way to Wellness, your journey to healthy living. I love this, by the way. I love that Virginia Tech is bringing back the Michael Vick era uniforms as their permanent uniforms. They're bringing those uniforms back, and that will be their permanent uniform.
It's a great uniform. Again, back to your friend, John Willard, was talking about that this weekend. I didn't realize that Virginia Tech opens right here in Nashville against Vanderbilt, but we previewed them last week. I thought we had them too low. I think Virginia Tech's going to have a really good season based on schedule, but I do love those uniforms.
Yeah, that uniform coming back, that game's at Nissan, I believe, right?
I think so, yeah.
Vandy at Nissan.
I don't know. I have to go check.
Probably.
Yeah. I like that uniform. I wish that's a program I wish could get back. But you know what I really liked about Virginia Tech was Thursday night football.
Right.
And even if
at Lane Stadium.
Yeah, at Lane Stadium. Yeah. I mean, it seemed like they would play 2 or 3 Thursday night games a year, and it felt like they were unbeatable at Lane Stadium. I mean, when Beamer ball was going and that place was rocking, you did not want to go in there for a night game.
I would say there's a whole generation now almost. How long is a generation? 20 years?
I guess. I don't know.
How long has it been since Virginia Tech's been really, really good? It's been 20 years, right?
It hasn't been 20 years.
Yeah, it's been close to it.
When did Beamer retire?
Well, I'm talking about really good.
Really good.
So, like 2004, when they played undefeated Auburn in the Sugar Bowl, that to me was kind of where it was fizzling out a little bit. I think they still had some 10, 11 win seasons.
But that's 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
They played for a national championship 25 years ago.
Yeah. So a generation of people don't know what it's like for Virginia Tech to be relevant, and for what you're talking about, Brown, what Lane Stadium and that atmosphere can be when Virginia Tech is really, really good.
Yeah.
That was one of the toughest places to play when they were really, really good. Ohio State recently in college football era times went there and lost, right?
Yeah, well, and you remember Virginia Tech playing a home and home with LSU and beating LSU.
That's right.
And back in the Nick Saban LSU days.
Yeah, it was. I mean, the Enter Sandman and everything. It was just incredible. The game day atmosphere. You just didn't want to go play there. I mean, it looked like on TV the stadium's right on top of you. They've got that fan base that wasn't used to winning, so when they started winning, they got super excited and got into the games. They weren't sitting on their hands.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a tough place to play. A night game at Lane Stadium, that was a feared environment for a very long time.
Virginia Tech may be on their comeback right now. We're going to talk about a team today in our 40 and 40 that hopes to get back where they are. Our 40 and 40 brought to you by our friends at MyBookie, mybookie.ag. Brandy, tell us about that before Forrester shows us that team.
Well, they've got the in-home casino experience right there. You plan a trip to the casino, something happens, it gets canceled. Well, mybookie.ag can bring it to your home right now. A Las Vegas experience where the action is in your hands. You don't even have to leave home. It's new and improved. It has truly realistic casino experience, the latest in slots, progressive jackpots, live dealer action, all from the comfort of your home. And right now, you go to mybookie.ag, use code NEXTROUND, and you get that great bonus. And they've also got a revamped loyalty program that ensures a host of exclusive VIP perks. The more you play, the more you win with mybookie.ag, code NEXTROUND, mybookie.ag, code NEXTROUND.
All right, here's the team coming in at number 32. It's Wisconsin.
Oh, Whiskey?
The Badgers come in at 32. We get to see them open up the season against Alabama. So we've given you Baylor at 34, North Carolina at 33 recently. Here's Wisconsin at 32. Big year up there for Luke Fickell.
Well, it is. It's year 2 for Luke Fickell. More importantly, it's year 2 at Phil Longo's offense. And now you're bringing in a quarterback in Tyler Van Dyke, your former ACC Rookie of the Year. Had a down year last year at Miami. I think he's going to thrive. Tanner Mordecai didn't put up the numbers I thought he would put up in this offense. It seemed really out of place watching Wisconsin football. Throw it around a little bit. The problem for Wisconsin this year is I look at the schedule, and I think they're going to be underdogs in 5 games.
Alabama is one. They're at USC. They play Penn State. Those are some of the feature games, Brownie.
Those are back-to-back games, Alabama and USC. There is a bye week between them. As you mentioned, at Penn State, they host Oregon. You know, they got a road trip to Iowa, road trip to Nebraska. It is not an easy schedule.
Actually, I didn't even think about it. Nebraska will be favored in that game more than likely. So they're going to be underdogs in 6 games.
Yeah, 6 games. To make it to 32 in the country, you got to pull some upsets there if you're Wisconsin. You mentioned Phil Longo. That first game against Alabama with Tyler Van Dyke. If Van Dyke looks anything like he looked like his first year at Miami, and Longo's pace of play, the way he likes to spread it out, that'll be challenging for Alabama's young secondary.
Well, and I think it's a nice little build-up to Bama, too, because you get Western Michigan and South Dakota, games you should win, give Tyler Van Dyke a little confidence. That's – I think Alabama, in the Saban days, they go up there and they roll in these games, and they win by double digits easily. But Alabama right now, we saw it's kind of a skinny number. It's 7.5. That's kind of a scary game before Alabama takes on Georgia in Tuscaloosa.
Yeah, changes everything, Brownie. If Alabama wins that game, I think people will all of a sudden buy into that build up for the Georgia game.
You exhale if you win that game.
Yeah. If you lose that game, then they're going to start questioning so many games in Kalen DeBoer's first year. Wisconsin's our team at number 32 in our 40 and 40 countdown, voted on by you, our viewers and listeners. 94 of you, brought to you by our friends at mybookie.ag.
All these games Lance just talked about that Wisconsin will be an underdog or a favorite in, you can bet all those games, all of them at mybookie.ag. Code next round gets you the sign-on bonus. Major League Baseball action, the NBA playoffs continuing, all right there at mybookie.ag. Code next round. When you go to mybookie.ag, get that sign-on bonus and get those VIP perks. Mybookie.ag, code next round.
Misleading headline for some of you over the weekend. Florida, Georgia to play home and home, moving their series to a home and home just for the 2026-2027 season. That's the report that likely is going to happen as they rebuild or reshape the stadium in Jacksonville again.
Well, they've done that before in our lifetime. The first time they redid that stadium in Jacksonville when the Jags are coming to town, I want to say it was
97, 98.
Was
maybe?
that it? I was going to say 95, 96, but somewhere in that window. They played a game in Gainesville and a game in Athens. And as I remember it, Spurrier.
Yeah, you might
Florida,
be right. It's a little earlier.
Spurrier and Florida scalded Georgia, I think, in both those games. And I don't know. I mean, I know the fans love going down there. I used to say the same thing about the Iron Bowl. Oh, no, I like it in Birmingham. It's such a fun atmosphere. It is dwarfed by the on-campus atmosphere.
Yeah.
The Iron Bowl and Jordan-Hare and Bryant-Denny is so much better.
And I think getting it back in Athens and Gainesville could be what ultimately puts it there forever.
Yeah, I just wonder. Because again, you know, I think they've got the waiver now done away where they can bring the recruits in. But, you know, that was a big issue before. If it was your home game, that was a game you couldn't have recruits.
Well, I don't think they do.
I thought they did. I thought they adjusted that.
Because Kirby continues to talk about
Well,
that.
I thought you knew anything in the NCAA now.
Yeah, maybe you can. Maybe that has changed.
Yeah.
But that's going to happen, not officially yet, but it looks like it's going to happen 2026, 2027 there with that one. And one more thing before we head to break here and continue our conversation up here. Clay Travis, part of the next segment, always with us on Tuesday. We have street bikes. These, what are these called? These mopeds?
Scooters?
They used to be called, I think these are like the Lime version. They used to be called the Bird.
Yeah.
One of our friends, she fell off one here in town a couple of years ago and had to go to the ER, bad situation, man. Those things, and I was watching a construction worker flying down the street on it.
I was just talking about this couple right now who are here on their little getaway, having a fun weekend. They were just coming down this hill in front of us here, and they were zooming, no helmets, and they're riding with the traffic right there. There's got to be some fatalities we never hear about.
The liability on those things, I've never quite figured them out. And it's just wild. You ride them till you're done, you just leave them. You just leave them wherever you are.
Dunaway, if we wipe.
I knew it was coming.
If we wipe the bracket challenge, if I get you to, like, if I pay somebody to lay down and you jump them, if we put a little ramp up, this is good content, right?
Well, I don't think you had that far off the ground.
Literally, the best part of that is me on the scooter. You didn't have me laying down and you trying to jump.
That's true. That's true. Yeah.
Now, would you? I've just got this feeling like you would be weary about even getting on one of those.
Oh, I would not. I would not enjoy it.
So if I was like, if you take that to Nissan Stadium from here,
I could do it. I would not enjoy it though. Like, I don't even enjoy crossing the street, crossing the street. I mean, I'm always fearful there'd be somebody flying out of nowhere to whack me. I would not enjoy it, but I would do it. I could do it. I'm a man. I could do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we've survived.
What if we mic you up? We put on the GoPro. We mic you up, and you go undercover and just join a pedal bike for a random bachelorette party. You're just a guy, and then we give you a series of things to talk about.
That would be crazy. So, did you ever kiss the bride?
There we go. We don't need to give him the questions.
It started out awkward. Yeah. We didn't have to work into it.
Yeah, but it would be
just put him on that bike.
That would be a blast. All right, so we've talked about Acuna's injury. Braves in action tonight at 6:20 when we come back through the NFL camps and Clay Travis. That and more as we broadcast from Nashville at the On3 Sports Elite event that's going on. A+ bringing you part of the show. Brownie, tell us again about A+.
It is A+ Tile Home Remodeling. It is who redid the master bath in the brown house when we were ready to do it. My wife scoured the internet to try to find the right person for the job. She talked to contractors, people that had used contractors. She read a ton of reviews. And she picked Brad Bell, A+ Tile Home Remodeling. I'm so glad she did. He did tremendous work. His crews were on time. They were clean. They were courteous. They were professional. End of the day, they would walk us in and show us everything they had done that day to make sure they were on schedule and it was work done to our specifications. That's what's important to Brad. He's not going to come in and say, hey, here's how we're doing this. He's going to come in and say, you tell me how you want it done, and that's the plan we're going to use. 205-422-1758, 205-422-1758. He is Brad Bell, A-plus tile, home remodeling. If you miss anything I just said, reach out. I'll get you in touch with Brad. He can redo. He specializes in master bath, kitchen, and master bedroom, but anything in your house. Master bath, kitchen, master bedroom, closets are where you're going to make your money back, though. Brad Bell, A-plus tile, home remodeling, 205-422-1758. Clay Travis is next.
Call the next round now at 205-734-0923.
Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop, rare quality, well-done service.
Golf season is here, and if you're looking for a great golf course with affordable rates, you need to check out the newly renovated Woodward Golf Club. Woodward Golf Club is a semi-private club with membership opportunities available, but is also open to the public. You can book tee times online at this hidden gem by going to golfwoodward.com. For only $195 per month, you can enjoy unlimited golf 7 days a week. Membership includes discounted cart fees, unlimited range balls, and the use of our practice facilities. For more information on memberships and the course, check us out online at golfwoodward.com.
Hey, for all of your IT and printing needs, reach out to our friends at Xerox Business Solutions. Look, I'm still one of those old school guys. I print my notes every single day for the show. If you watch the show here on the next round, you see all the notes in front of me. From day one, Xerox Business Solutions, they've been with us here at the next round. Local for over 45 years. For all of your IT and printing needs, visit XeroxBusinessSolutions.com or call 205-969-3000. That's 205-969-3000. Hey, Lance Taylor from the next round to tell you about our friends at Gutter Cap. Gutter Cap's that patented aluminum cover system that fits over most existing gutters to keep out debris and eliminate that gutter cleaning. It's backed with a lifetime warranty, almost 20-year service record right here in Birmingham. Stay off that dangerous ladder forever. 45% off the retail price now if you call guttercapbirmingham.com. Call my good friend Chris Stewart now, 205-823-2212. Cap it, don't snap it. It's Gutter Cap.
Just because you've quit going to the gym, it doesn't mean that you have to quit gym altogether. Dunaway, that is. With our Next Round podcasts open 24/7, 365, you can access gym anytime you'd like. While you may have done away with your treadmill routine, our version of Dunaway is standing by ready to get you back to your absolute best. Find all that lovely Jimmy D-led content on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and in the podcast section of nextroundlive.com. This message is sponsored by Jimmy Crypto Inc. and Jimmy Crypto for President.
You could win a Cadillac CT5 or your share of $25,000 in free play and cash at Birmingham Racecourse Casino. The more you visit, the more chances you have to win. Play the latest, most exciting games around with fun bonuses and big jackpots. You can be a winner too. Come win your share during the Cadillac CT5 and $25,000 giveaway at Birmingham Racecourse Casino. Drawings April 5th and 6th. Located off I-459, exit 31, Derby Parkway. Must be 21 or older, must be present to win.
A cloudless day here in Nashville, On3 Elite event going on. We'll talk to some of the participants coming up in the final hour of the show today. LT, D&B here. Clay Travis in a second after LT tells us about our friends at Odie's.
2 locations for you, the original in Crestline, now Edgewood, right there on the corner of Oxmoor and Broadway. Get in, see Will Haver and that incredible staff. Every Wednesday night, we do Odie's Team Trivia from the original location to Crestline. Live music every Friday and Saturday. Both locations, incredible food from Rodney Davis, award-winning wings, delicious burgers, great sandwiches like that Diablo sandwich. Get in, ice cold beer buckets full of Bud Light. It's all right there at Odie's Tavern.
Clay Travis is the founder of Outkick, and you see him on Fox as well. We are in Clay City. Clay is not in Clay City, though, so we've missed him again. What is up, Clay? How are you today?
I'm good. I'm on the beach or driving along the beach. I got to go into my radio studio here in a few minutes, but I've been down here for Memorial Day on 30A.
How is your home project down in Alice going?
it's going to be done next year. It's a never-ending build process. We bought the lot in June of 21, and I'm hopeful that we'll actually be in the completed house sometime around April or May of 25, which is just unbelievable how much time it's taken.
Yeah. Thoughts and prayers, Clay. Thoughts and prayers.
Yeah, maybe we can do a show. Kick it off.
Well, I'm gonna have
sure
a
Laura would
studio
love
there.
that.
Yeah, I'm going to have a studio there. We got 2 pools, got a ground floor pool and a rooftop pool. So I don't know
you
how
need
many
2
homes-
pools. Yeah, that makes
Yeah,
sense.
but have enough of those.
Might
Are
get
you gonna
might get
have
tired.
you're gonna have a cool
ground
name
floor.
like your hopeful next president of the United States? You're gonna name the property. Do you have a cool name for it?
I don't know that it's high end enough to be named. Honestly, I mean, it's not like we have acres.
It's like 2
and
pools.
there's lots of,
Clay-a-Lago?
yeah, yeah. It's going to be pretty awesome when it's done, but I don't think it's exquisite. I mean, he's got like Bedminster, he's got Doral. I mean, I feel like you have to have like 100 acres to name something. So anyway, no planned name at this point. Although, to be fair, a bunch of the houses are named there.
Yeah, I will never call it anything but Clay-a-Lago now after Roxbury has done that. I don't care what you name it.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yes. Absolutely.
So not far from you is the SEC meetings. I don't know if you'll pay any attention to that just down the road. I don't know what's going to come out of that. But one thing we were talking about earlier that is not going to come out of it is a move to 9 games in the conference schedules. I used to think they would automatically go to 9, Clay, but I think it is wise that Greg Sankey and the athletics directors are saying, let's just see how this college football playoff goes before we start expanding our conference schedule.
I think that's smart. Also, and I might be the only person who talks about this, when you expand the conference schedule, you lose a bunch of inventory that is games. Now, you can argue that the games that you expand to are more valuable. But when you have 9 conference games, and you guys follow me along on the math there, you lose when the 2 conference teams are playing each other. You lose, I believe, 8 total games. Am I right in that on the math? And
yeah, because they're not playing out of conference. Good math. Yes,
that's right. Yeah. So that's not an insubstantial value, to say nothing of the fact that it creates lopsided schedules, and you know how competitive football is. Some years guys are going to get 4 home games. Some years they're going to get 5. And I think they've done a pretty good job with the structure now, where I always thought it was, a really bad schedule design that you could go 12 years between playing home and road. For instance, if you're Auburn, you might not go to Knoxville for 12 years and vice versa, depending on how exactly all that shakes out. And so to me, they've needed to kind of get things fixed. I think that Texas and Oklahoma coming in makes good sense. And I tend to think we're going to get 4 or 5 SEC teams in the postseason most years. And now we'll just have to kind of run the math and see whether that ends up being true or not.
We have rivalries with Texas and Oklahoma playing each other. Texas and Texas A&M is a rivalry. Of the traditional SEC team with Texas and or Oklahoma, but most likely it's going to be Texas, what do you think is going to turn into a rivalry game? They won't play it annually. It won't be considered a rivalry game. But which teams do you think are going to pair up between either Texas and Oklahoma and the old school SEC that you think will become one of those contests that we will look forward to seeing as much as we possibly can over the next 10 years?
Well, first of all, I think getting Texas and Texas A&M back is a huge draw, right? I mean, that is one of the best rivalries in all of college athletics. So getting that back on an annual basis is going to be incredible. I think a lot of the Arkansas against the old Southwest Conference, we've had a lot of those really good games in Jerry World between Arkansas and Texas A&M. It feels like, for the most part, A&M just finds different ways to break Arkansas's heart in that game, as long as it's being played for the most part. But I think Arkansas against Texas is one of the best rivalries historically in college football. And so I think that game being played regularly will be really good. You guys know, I mean, look, the 2 games that Alabama has played against Texas have been absolutely knockout games that I think will be really good. I think as Tennessee is rising, I think the Tennessee-Texas thing for the Battle of UT could turn into a really interesting thing. I don't know how many people have contemplated most of the SEC, when you say UT, you're talking about the University of Tennessee, the original, I might mention UT, but the University of Texas also has got a claim to that. If you're in the Big 12 and you talk about UT, you've been talking historically about Texas program. So I think that can be really interesting. I think that Florida going up against Texas has the potential to be really, really good. Florida, Texas A&M, they've played some good games so far. So I've said this publicly for a long time. I think that this is going to be a huge addition to the SEC. As much as I think Missouri and Texas A&M have added, I think Texas and Oklahoma add substantially more. And I think on balance, most SEC fans would say the addition of A&M and Missouri has been pretty good for the conference. And certainly that A&M-Bama rivalry is something that people pay a lot of attention to. Maybe it'll be dialed back a bit without Jimbo. But I would say probably the most important game in terms of cementing A&M and Missouri into the SEC was the Johnny Manziel out of nowhere win in Tuscaloosa as 17-point underdogs. I think that did more to sort of brand A&M in the SEC and Missouri as well by default. I know they've been to a couple of SEC championship games, but that to me is a pretty compelling and I think it'll be very quick with Texas and Oklahoma.
We mentioned the passing of Bill Walton at 71, polarizing guy. I never had the opportunity to interview the guy. Did you have any relationship with Bill Walton?
That's funny. I was trying to think about it. It seems crazy that we didn't, but I don't think we've ever had him on the show. Now, I think partly that was because my radio show, as you guys know, was super early in the morning on the West Coast, and I don't know that Bill Walton was necessarily a up at 5 a.m. guy on the West Coast like some people were. And so we never, I don't think ever had him on, Outkick the coverage. And I don't think we would have ever had him back in the day when I did local Nashville radio. I was trying to rack my brain. I feel like I would remember it if we had him. But I enjoyed watching him. Obviously, he's a legendary player. I thought was a really engaging and entertaining broadcaster. And some of those clips were that from his games were just eccentric, really entertaining sort of dives into nowhere when it came to breaking down the games he was calling.
Yeah, I was not a fan of the style. I'm not going to be disingenuous just because he passed and say, I'm well on the record of saying that. But what I am a fan of in him, Clay, is the fact that he was who he was and he did not care what you thought. He wore a tie-dye shirt next to a guy in a suit and a pocket square on this camera, right? He was like, this is who I'm going to be. And if ESPN doesn't want me wearing a tie-dye shirt, I'll go back to the house. I do love that attitude.
Yeah, 100%. And because you guys have been in media long enough, what percentage of people are comfortable enough to do that? One? Less than one?
Yep.
Yep. And I think the crowd responds well to authenticity, even if it's not an authenticity. I don't think that your average SEC football fan, for instance, is a diehard Grateful Dead fan, or sitting around in tie-dye shirts. But I think people appreciated that he was an honest guy, and also that he really had, it seemed, a great joy for life. He had a tremendous passion for basketball, and I don't think you can fake that. He genuinely loved calling games, and he called a huge variety of games. A lot of guys now won't go to what they perceive as a minor league game because they think it works bad against their own brand. This is a guy who was on middle of the night calling games that were not elite, draft pick games. And I think it just spoke to how much he really, truly did love what he did.
All right, you can follow him at Clay Travis on Twitter, founder of Outkick, and also on Fox Sports. Clay, thank you very much for the time. Enjoy the beach.
Hey, appreciate y'all. Enjoy my town, and happy belated Memorial Day to everyone out there, and certainly everybody who made it possible for us to have a long weekend.
Yep, absolutely. Well said. Thank you, Clay. Take care. Clay with us on the JohnstonRVCenter.com hotline.
I can't recall somebody that's got two pools at a house.
It's pretty. It's
ground floor, ground, and one on the roof.
Yeah. There's hotels like that.
Yeah.
Walking around Alice Beach, I've never seen a property at Alice that's got two pools.
Yeah, good for Clay. He's got to have them.
I would tell you, every
is
time
that flex?
Yeah, it is.
Every time I come to Nashville, I like the city more and more because I get more comfortable with it. I start to learn it more, right, of where to go, where not to go.
Awesome city. It's too big, though.
Yeah. I don't know if it's too big. But when you get a day like this, I mean, we got a breeze. We're in the shade. There's not a cloud in the sky.
I feel like
unbelievable.
Bill Walton in this regard. You mentioned the tie-dye.
Yeah.
We're at a pool party. I'm the only guy wearing a bathing suit. Yeah.
Is this billed as a pool party?
I thought it was.
I don't know. I mean, it's going to get a little cool.
Boy, I am glad I did not wear that Rams tank top.
Boy, I wish you had.
And boy, do I feel lazy. Since the show started, seriously, first segment, this guy right here on 1, 2, 3, 4th floor out on his deck.
Yeah.
He has been out there working out since our show started. So he's into hour and 30 minutes. He's been doing stretches, yoga, and calisthenics and stuff, doing a little workout. Shirts come off.
He's staring at you too, Dunaway. They're making eyes.
With his shirt off.
This your sailor boy from Flora-Bama?
Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm going back to the condo, sir. I'm taking. I'm sorry. Keep working out, though. We got basketball happening tonight. What's happening tonight after LT tells us about Dr. B?
Hey, Jalen Ramsey. Random Rams jersey on the street. Dr. B, absolutely the man. Brown was telling you guys
walking into the beer and wine store across the street. By the way,
I'm shocked. Wearing his Jalen Ramsey gear, so good. T3hair.net. But Brown is getting the treatment right now. I'm doing it 3 times a week. The non-invasive treatment on the couch, 30 minutes each time. That is it. My hair has more than doubled in thickness. Dr. B also offers that Sensus transdermal infuser. This enables Dr. B to get various medicines and therapies into the scalp where the hair follicles are without using any injections. This is revolutionary, as Dr. B can pinpoint delivery of a patient's genetically specific products without any needles. Call today. Schedule a consultation. Tell them the next round sent you. 205-319-0316. For more information, you can always go online, t3hair.net.
We'll get some of Hemp Hill's best and worst of the weekend coming up in our next segment. I did want to point out right here that the Celtics sweep the Pacers. Jaylen Brown's the MVP. They were tied or trailing in the final minute of games 1, 3, and 4 and still got a sweep. That is unfortunate for Indiana.
So I think the Pacers and Halliburton obviously not healthy. They overachieved this year. So getting to an Eastern Conference Finals, I think for Rick Carlisle, I think that was big for this organization. With all that said, I think the Celtics get bored at times, and it seemed like they were bored again last night. It's like 2 minutes left, they turn it on, they go on a 7-0 run to close it out, to close that series out. They're not going to be able to do this against Dallas. Dallas with Kyrie and Luka, that 1-2 punch is better than what you get with Jalen and Jason.
Where's all you conspiracy theories that think, games will go 6 games or 7 games just to get money? We got 1 sweep already in the conference finals. We're facing another one tonight when they play 7 o'clock on TNT. Dallas, if they beat Minnesota, that's a sweep. So we'd have both sweeps in conference finals. Where's all the conspiracy theories?
We started the playoffs with the conspiracy that they're in on the Knicks, right?
Right.
Because the Pacers weren't getting the call. The Pacers advance. They get to the Eastern Conference Finals. And if ever you were going to fix something, you would fix it to keep that thing from getting swept. I mean, this is going to be forever before they play basketball.
Well, I mean, I still think the T-Wolves could get one.
Yeah.
Push it maybe 7.
Maybe. 7?
No. Push it to 7 days instead of 9.
Yeah. All you conspiracy theories can kick rocks.
The second round was so good. Maybe the best second round we've ever had in the NBA postseason. And these conference finals have been awful.
7 o'clock TNT tonight. By the way, it's the 8th time that a city's tried to win the NBA and the NHL championship in the same year. It's never happened. The last opportunity we had was the Nets and Devils in 2003. Before that, it was Knicks and Rangers in 94. Before that, it was the Bulls and Blackhawks in 92. It goes all the way back to 57 when they've tried this. 8 times it's been close, but never happened. Dallas is trying to be the one to do it this time. Don't feel like it's going to happen this time either. Stars are up in their series. So that's what's going on the ice and the hardwood with the NBA and the NHL as we approach the month of June.
You want to go steak to see if Jalen comes out with bottle or beer? I'll let you choose.
For a steak.
I don't think he's coming out. Is that an option? That is an option. Is that an option? I don't think he's coming out. I don't think we're coming out. There's a lot of back rooms back there, man. The show continues being brought to you by our friends at Precision Sports Medicine and Orthopedics. I'm using them again. They're helping me with rehab for a golfing injury. You can use them for whatever you've tweaked, pulled, or broken. Diagnosis, treatment, and then rehab, which is so important to do your rehab, I was told last week. Precision Sports Medicine and Orthopedics. There's the phone number, 205-512-3885, precisionsportsortho.com/2024. I'm telling you, Lance, they've got Precision Sports Medicines all over the Birmingham metro area, Jasper to Alabaster. You know these folks really well. They're the best in the business.
Absolutely. And they really took care of me. And they're one of those that they will do the deepest dive to find out exactly what is wrong with you. We thought mine was a meniscus, ended up being an L4, L5. Dr. Patterson, the fine folks there, they do such an incredible job.
You can find out for yourself if you've got something that's hurting on you. Orthopedic care, better together, 205-512-3885, precisionsportsortho.com/2024.
Everything Alabama, all the time. Subscribe and set alerts at Roll Tide Pods on YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts.
This hour of The Next Round is presented by the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, now featuring 7 days of giveaways with your chance to win a share of up to $125,000. The more you visit the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, the more chances you have to win.
Let's face it, a home is one of the most powerful assets you can have, and our friends at Mortgage Right want to help you build wealth through home ownership. Mortgage Right is all about providing competitive rates, a variety of loan products, and a multitude of resources for a seamless home buying experience. They treat their borrowers like family and are always looking to bring more happy homeowners under their roof. See more by visiting mortgageright.com/TNR today and start living. That's mortgageright.com/TNR. NMLS 2239, Equal Housing Lender.
Hey, let me tell you about our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Compassionate and comprehensive urological care with 35 physicians, 17 locations across Alabama. Their patient-centered approach to all of your urological needs. Remember, they've got that new men's health center. It is beautiful, helping men with a wide range of sensitive male issues in a comfortable environment. You can always go online, visit urologycentersalabama.com, schedule an appointment with one of their many urologists today.
There is no better place to watch your favorite sporting events and enjoy great food than one of the 3 great Birmingham locations of Walk-Ons. The TVs are everywhere with your favorite sports, and the menu is second to none. From the great appetizers like the waffle cheese fries to the Avery Island salad, handhelds like the all-new chicken bomber, bistro specialties with a special taste of the bayou, the amazing hand patty burgers, the great po' boys, and the specialty drinks. Visit any of the 3 great Birmingham locations of Walk-Ons: Greystone, Stadium Trace and Hoover, and the brand new location in Trussville.
Take TNR on the go with a podcast built for your satisfaction. Miss Hour 1? Find it in podcast form. Miss Hour 2? Stream it now. Miss Hour 3? Download it for later. Miss Hour 4? Well, just know it's never coming back. Listen to TNR wherever you find podcasts.
Hey, Lance Taylor from The Next Round to tell you about my friends at Michelson Laser Vision, located conveniently UAB Highlands. Almost 20 years ago, I went in for the procedure. Only took 12 minutes for both eyes. When I went in, I had 2200 vision. I was legally blind. Now I have 20/15 vision, still 19 years later. Make the call today. Schedule a hassle-free consultation, 969-8100. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, Michelson Laser Vision. Make sure you tell them The Next Round sent you, 969-8100 or MichelsonLaserVision.com.
You never know what we're up to here at The Next Round. The easiest way to stay in the know with our antics and adventures is to follow The Next Round across all social media platforms at Next Round Live on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Whether it's Dunaway sleeping in the studio, Tim and Lunsford breaking down the latest movie release, or Game Day Chronicles, we are here to keep you updated on the latest sports news while, of course, having just a little bit of fun. Follow at Next Round Live across all platforms to join in.
Hey, remember the UFL wraps up the regular season Saturday, 1 o'clock at Protective Stadium. The Birmingham Stallions with their first loss this past weekend at San Antonio, as expected. But they're already going to host the conference championship game. You can be there for the season finale against another playoff team, the Michigan Panthers, this Saturday. Tickets start at just $10. Buy your tickets at theufl.com. theufl.com. Final regular season home game, and then get ready for the conference championship with your Birmingham Stallions.
One of our good friends, Andy Staples, joins us on set here in Nashville. He did his show earlier inside and is part of On3 now, of course. What is up? How are you?
This is amazing. You guys have the best taste in remotes. Your locations are spectacular.
I mean,
like at SEC Media Days, we're all sitting on Radio Row. Y'all have a suite upstairs where there's booze and everything. Like I am just taking notes. Let's put it that way.
I can't believe how good it feels at post Memorial Day.
I know
This is amazing because it's only going to be like 83 today, but we got this breeze and you guys hit it on the head.
I could take a nap after the show. There's no doubt. I can nap in this weather.
One of us is getting in the pool after the show. Can you tell which one?
All of you.
I thought it was a pool party.
Well, exactly.
Yeah, everybody suited up.
Listen, this is what I've learned about Lance. He is always dressed for the party, wherever the party may be. And again, I'm taking notes.
That's all right. That's all right.
Hey, so I'm going to put you on the spot. We're doing our 40 and 40 right now.
Mm-hmm.
And we previewed Wisconsin and Luke Fickell
the Badgers.
going into year 2, 7-6 last year. Also year 2 for Phil Longo. Tyler Van Dyke comes in, but that schedule is brutal. Like, what are the expectations for Wisconsin? And, if he has another 7-6, what are Wisconsin fans saying about Luke Fickell?
They're not happy, and they're not. But what's interesting is I had Luke Fickell on the show last week, and we talked about what he learned in that first year. And you could tell he's trying to say it in as gentle a way as he can, but it was not necessarily the program that you would come to expect from Wisconsin when he took over, because you expect this toughness, these great offensive linemen, and they just culturally weren't where they were under Brett Bielema, under Paul Chryst in the early years. That Chryst's program had not been recruiting great. And when I say that, I don't mean like in terms of 4 stars, 5 stars. They'd not been IDing guys like they used to, where these are kind of hidden gems that they can then develop. They just didn't have that. And so Luke Fickell definitely had to increase the talent on that roster. If you go back to Cincinnati and you look at his first full cycle recruiting class, that class was littered with guys who ended up starting on that playoff team in 2021. So he can evaluate. He's got down. He doesn't have Marcus Freeman on that staff anymore. He doesn't, some of those good recruiters have gone and gone on to bigger and better things. But I have a lot of faith in Luke Fickell in terms of developing a program culturally, because I think their problem last year was Tanner Mordecai got hurt. He was their starting quarterback. And then Chez Malusi got hurt, their best running back. And it sort of fell apart after that. And if you watch them early, even when those guys were healthy, like they weren't super fast at receiver. They just weren't that dynamic offensively. If they get to the point where they are good running the ball, which I think they can be better running the ball, and you look at Phil Longo, you say he's an air raid guy. Now, what was the best year of a Phil Longo offense? 2020 at North Carolina, when he had Michael Carter and Javonte Williams.
Yeah, 2 1,000-yard guys.
Exactly. There's a game against Miami where they averaged 10 yards a carry and probably could have run for 800 yards. Like, that's the team I expect Wisconsin to ultimately be running this offense, because you do have that same resource where you can still get those big offensive linemen and develop them, but that's not something that happens overnight, and that position group had fallen off.
For the Alabama fans who watch our show, where do you put possibility of upset meter 1 to 10 on Alabama's trip to Camp Randall?
2 or 3.
2 or 3, so not very high.
I think Alabama is a lot more talented team, just a lot more talented. And obviously everything has to get figured out with a new coach, new schemes, all that stuff. But I do think that Kalen DeBoer knows what he's doing. I mean, the guy's lost 12 games as a head coach, and 3 of those were taking over Fresno State during the pandemic. So this is not a situation where Alabama's going to drop off very much. I think Alabama's going to be very good, and Wisconsin's just not there yet. But it'll be a good test for Alabama. Good road environment. The crowd will be crazy. They'll be jumping around. But yeah, Alabama is just better.
Andy Staples with us on 3 Sports, the Andy Staples Show. You do everything for him. We ask you to do for us. Give him a thumbs up, subscribe, follow him on YouTube and Twitter, X, all of those things, all social media. Same thing you do for us, do for Andy as well. We appreciate that. He's with us here in Nashville. We got sucked into this. Boy, Oklahoma got a tougher schedule than Texas did. And then we looked at it. We're like, boy, Oklahoma did get a tougher schedule.
Oklahoma got
brutal.
a rough schedule.
I had not stopped and looked at it until Dunaway brought up that the Oklahoma fans are saying, look, here we go. Another conference in Texas is getting the benefit.
Florida's is the worst.
Yes.
And then it's Georgia, Oklahoma. And Georgia's is bad because the hardest games are on the road.
Right.
And like next year it flips and they'll get those games at home.
Right.
And so Georgia's will look a little bit more.
Not as magnified because it's Georgia, though.
Right, exactly. But yeah, Oklahoma is, because you think about that closing kick where they've got to play Alabama and LSU.
Yes.
And then, but also, okay, their first SEC experiences. Tennessee comes to you, then you go to Auburn.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Oklahoma fans are so used to winning at everything, and Auburn's been a little down. And they're like, oh, well, that's a win. And I'm like, are you serious? Have you guys ever been to a game at Jordan-Hare?
I know.
Like,
anything could happen.
Oh, and the thing is, like, there are days at Jordan-Hare where the 85 Bears could come in.
That's right.
And wouldn't win.
Yep.
And I think Auburn's going to be considerably better this year. I really do, because I think if you give Hugh Freeze a chance to call the plays, figure out what his offense is. I don't understand. Like, you guys can tell better than me. Like, what is it about Auburn that makes people who are good at calling plays not want to call plays anymore?
So bizarre, isn't it? Yeah.
But Hugh Freeze is back calling plays. Not only is he back calling plays, he now can talk into a walkie-talkie and talk to his quarterback, and nobody else can hear it. Like, when he was at Liberty and Malik Willis was the quarterback, there were times when he'd do the check with me kind of play, and he just point, throw to that guy.
Yeah.
Like, now he can say that and nobody can hear him.
Yeah.
That's a big advantage. So, like, that for Oklahoma, you could be 0-2 in the SEC right off the rip.
Yeah.
And that is terrifying, I think, for those folks, because they are so used to being successful. They're so used to winning. Now, I don't think Oklahoma is going to be a mediocre team. Like, I know Vegas initially had their win total at 6.5. It got bet up to 7.5 very quickly, but then it stayed there. I think they're over that this year, but they did rebuild their offensive line.
And how good is Jackson Arnold?
We don't know.
Yeah.
We've seen one game. It was the Alamo Bowl against Arizona, and you saw some flashes of where the ceiling is, but he had a ton of turnovers, and it was like, okay, this is a true freshman. Now, he played against BYU, but it was really limited experience. So we don't know what he was going to be when he's the guy, and he spent the whole offseason preparing for that. I do think ability-wise, his ceiling is very high. There's a reason they let Dylan Gabriel walk, and Dylan Gabriel is going to be real good at Oregon this year.
Really good.
But the thing about the new SEC is the margins are so thin because, like I said, you have two bad weeks in a row against Tennessee and Auburn. You are 0-2.
Yeah.
And Tennessee and Auburn need that win as bad as Oklahoma does.
Yeah. Sticking in the SEC, who wins a college football playoff game first? Brian Kelly at LSU or Lane Kiffin at Ole Miss?
Well, I think it's Lane Kiffin because I think that could happen this year. I'm not sure. I mean, I think LSU could potentially make the playoffs.
Ole Miss misses playoffs. It's a disaster for Ole Miss fans.
Absolutely. They should have made it. I mean, they would have made it last year if there was a 12 team. What they've done through the portal, especially on the line of scrimmage, is something we didn't think was possible because there's usually not that much available in terms of offensive and defensive linemen in the portal, but they get Walter Nolan. They get some guys on the offensive line that were pretty good that are going to so they brought back a bunch of offensive line starters. They had legit position competitions with transfers where they're like Michigan last year, where they're going to go in there with 7-8 guys who can really play on the offensive line, which that's been Ole Miss's problem. Ole Miss's problem is when they see a Georgia or an Alabama, they cannot hold up at the line of scrimmage. They should be able to do that now. So yeah, they should not only make the playoff, but should be, advancing in the playoff. And the thing is, we talk about hard schedules. Ole Miss got the opposite of that.
That's right.
Yeah. Ole Miss and Tennessee got schedules that I think are fairly manageable, all things considered. And so if you're Ole Miss, you may be in Atlanta. You may have a chance to win the SEC and get the bye. Like, everything's laid out there for Ole Miss. You've got to make it happen this year.
Before you go, the change in sunlight here reminds me of when I was a kid and the Cowboys played at Irving Stadium.
The shadows.
And they left the
little ray of sun.
So God could watch the Cowboys
right,
play.
I can watch his team.
So God's watching our show right now. You're in the shady part. Your favorite stadium to go to and watch a game in? You've gone to a lot of them. You probably don't go to as many as you used to. Maybe you do. I don't know. But your favorite one to go? I'll take the swamp off.
So I've been to every SEC stadium.
Right.
I haven't been to every Big Ten stadium, but I've been to all the the big football schools. I've been to every Big 12 stadium. Have I now? Yes, I have. I'm like, the membership's changed. Have I? Yes, I have. But so I still think the whole game day experience at LSU is unparalleled. It just the tailgate scene inside the game. Now, I will say, in recent years, more people have wanted to stay outside and party, and they have no-shows in the stadium. But for the big games, they don't. And it sounds like a jet engine taking off when that game is getting started. So for the whole, weekend experience, I think LSU is the best because those people are so nice, and they will, they'll offer you beer, they'll offer you gumbo, they'll offer you steak, whatever they're cooking, they're offering, and they just want to have a good time, and they love them Tigers. So I think that's probably my favorite, but Tennessee's great, Alabama's great, and like I said about Auburn, there are those days, and you know which days, like, remember when Georgia came in 2017? It didn't matter.
Yep.
Georgia right now, it didn't matter.
Oklahoma's tailgate scene fits SEC better than Texas, right?
Texas, well, both of them are kind of wine and cheese crowds. Like, Texas A&M is a much better cultural fit in the SEC than those guys. Like, when Texas A&M left the Big 12, all the Oklahoma and Texas people are like, oh, good luck, those weirdos. And I'm like, Texas A&M and Auburn fans are basically the same except for the all-male cheerleaders at A&M. Like, it's not that different. And, like, Texas and Oklahoma, they're going to have to get used to some of this. Like, when Oklahoma rolls into Auburn, or when Texas comes – now, Texas will come to Georgia in 25. Like, it'll be different for them because there were no road venues in the Big 12 like that. There's no deafening environment. There's some good environments. Like, K-State's a great place to watch a game. Iowa State is a very tough place to win. But it's not the same as Sanford Stadium, Neyland Stadium, the Swamp, Jordan-Hare, Bryant-Denny Stadium. I mean, a good example is Texas goes to Reynolds Razorback Stadium a few years ago.
Got run out.
They got destroyed.
Yeah.
And Arkansas fans will get after it. So that's the thing. It's the SEC is just so loaded with all these places where if you're good, if their team is good, or they just hate you and think they can beat you, you're going to be in for a very loud day.
At Andy_Staples on Twitter. You go there, you can find the link to his show that he does every day at On3 Sports. Go follow him. Give his show a thumbs up, subscribe, follow it on YouTube. We always appreciate the time. Always fun talking with you.
My pleasure.
Yeah.
Thanks.
You got a T-shirt out of it, too.
I did. I got a free T-shirt.
And last year you got liquor.
That's true.
I did. I got a bottle of vodka last year. That was the best.
That's Andy Staples. Our show being brought to you by our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. You can go ahead and bounce, Andy, if you want to.
Thanks, Andy.
You don't need to know this. You're in perfect health.
Oh,
knock
no,
on wood.
I'm that age.
Yeah. Urology Centers of Alabama. From prostate health to kidney stones, everything in between. You go from your 20s to 30s, 30s to 40s, 40s to 50s. There are things you need to be on top of. That's what Urology Centers of Alabama will do for you. UCA right there. They can help you. 205-930-0923 or, 20-0920, or you can go to urologycentersalabama.com, urologycentersalabama.com, and also LT, again, by our friends at Odie's, where we're already to tomorrow night, and it's trivia night again.
Oh, I keep forgetting this abbreviated weekend is Tuesday. It feels like a Monday. Tomorrow night we will be out at the Crestline location, the original location. Come out and see us. Team trivia will start a little after 8 o'clock. I think you're in tomorrow night, aren't you?
I have not been told, but I am happy to do it.
Think you are? I need to confirm that. Anyway, we'll be out there. Get there early. Enjoy some of the great food from Rodney Davis. Ice cold beer buckets full of the Bud Light. 2 locations now of Odie's Tavern, the original in Crestline, and now Edgewood. Stop and see Will Haver and that great staff.
We're in the final hour of the show now. Hang around with us live from Nashville, our On3 Elite Sports event. When we come back in the next segment, we have the official measurement of me and what I really said about Ronald Acuna and the Braves this year.
Wow, both those things.
Both of those things when we come back in the next segment. Stay with us.
Everything Next Round is on demand now in the podcast section at nextroundlive.com.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, you're in the red zone for every college rivalry and divisional matchup all season long. On game day, you never have to decide which teams to watch, only what combination of bites, burgers, wings, and more to order. Plus, where else are your favorite draft beers always poured at a frozen 29 degrees? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Stick around after the sun sets. Twin Peaks is open really late. Wind down with bourbon and late night bites. Only at Twin Peaks.
Stallions fans, your undefeated Birmingham Stallions are back at Protective Stadium this Saturday at 7 p.m. The Stallions take on the Houston Roughnecks for Hats Off to Heroes. Fans who purchase our Hats Off to Heroes ticket package will receive an exclusive camo hat. With only 2 home games left this season, don't miss your chance to cheer on your Birmingham Stallions. Let's pack Protective, Birmingham. Tickets start at just $10 and are available at theufl.com. That's theufl.com.
If renting is putting a dent in your bank account, here's your sign from the universe that it's time to buy a new home. And who better to help you through the ins and outs of home buying than our friends at Mortgage Right. With Mortgage Right, you don't have to worry about becoming a short notice mortgage expert because they do all the heavy lifting for you. They're trusted mortgage professionals and they'll help you choose the right mortgage option and stand by your side every step of the way. Visit mortgageright.com/TNR to buy before renting runs you dry. That's mortgageright.com/TNR. NMLS 2239, Equal Housing Lender.
When on YouTube, you constantly hear requests to please like and subscribe. Well, here at Disrupt Media, we aren't going to play that game. Those demands are frankly outdated. So we just want you to hit like or subscribe. It's like a choose-your-own-adventure novel. Pick a path, hit like, or hit subscribe. It's your call. We don't care which, just pick one. Or go to Roll Tide Pods and do it. Or War Damn Pods. Or the Disrupt Media YouTube channel. Or The Meltdown. Just make a decision and stick with it. Like or subscribe, the choice is yours.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the next round to tell you about my friends at Michelson Laser Vision, located conveniently UAB Highlands. Almost 20 years ago, I went in for the procedure. Only took 12 minutes for both eyes. When I went in, I had 2200 vision. I was legally blind. Now I have 20/15 vision, still 19 years later. Make the call today. Schedule a hassle-free consultation. 969-8100. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, Michelson Laser Vision. Make sure you tell them the next round sent you. 969-8100 or Michelson. LaserVision.com.
Golf season is here, and if you're looking for a great golf course with affordable rates, you need to check out the newly renovated Woodward Golf Club. Woodward Golf Club is a semi-private club with membership opportunities available, but is also open to the public. You can book tee times online at this hidden gem by going to golfwoodward.com. For only $195 per month, you can enjoy unlimited golf 7 days a week. Membership includes discounted cart fees, unlimited range balls, and the use of our practice facilities. For more information on memberships and the course, check us out online at golfwoodward.com.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, and Rockstar. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the next round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
Final hour of the show always brought to you by Champy's World Famous Fried Chicken, Highway 119 in Alabasters, where Sterling's been for over a decade. Perfect for your football tailgating, or if you're just grabbing something to say watch Bama in the Women's World Series starting Thursday and through the weekend, or all the SEC teams in the baseball tournament camped out in front of your TV or poolside. Great catering, Champy's World Famous Fried Chicken. Go see Sterling and the crew there. We love the On3 folks who've hosted us up here for this elite event. We've been talking about real estate here in Nashville. We've talked about me cleaning the windows on skyscraping buildings here. We'll get to a little bit later on this hour my official On3 Sports height, where I'm.
He swore he's 6 feet.
On my driver's license, I'm 6 feet.
We'll see.
I am getting older. So I think
He doesn't lie.
I think you shrink when you get older.
That's right.
And then what I said about the Braves with Ronald Acuna, that's coming up later this hour as well. But tell us about this event, Brownie. What's going on?
So we're at the On3 Elite Series. Grant Firking is here with us with On3. Played at Tennessee. He's been on the show before. You guys know Grant, and he could tell better about it. It's an amazing event. I tried to tell everyone what it was earlier. Basically, the top recruits come in. You guys let them meet some people that have been successful in the NIL world, people that set up NIL deals, people that are agents, people that manage finances when you make a lot of money.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really the life skills you need if you're going to be a stud athlete.
That's it. And
it's the biggest question we get asked because everyone sees On3 Elite series and obviously what Shannon's done for the last 30 years in building these recruiting sites. Everyone sees it as like a camp or a combine. And honestly, half these kids, when we first reach out to them, are like, yeah, like I've got to bring my cleats and everything. It's like, no shoulder pads, no cleats, no helmets, collared shirt, belt loop, come ready to learn. And that's what we did last year. We had the idea of seeing the NIL space for the last, coming up on 3 years and seeing the horror stories, seeing the deals fall through, seeing the street runners go and take a wild percentage off these guys. And then guys blowing money, all the typical stuff that we hear about athletes doing when they, reach a little bit of success. But man, how do we curve that, or how do we prepare the athletes and their parents? Because these are 17, 18-year-old kids. Mom and dad want to help them make the best decision. A lot of them are uncommitted. About half of them here are uncommitted. How do we set them up for success? We do it in this finite window when school's done, exams are out before they start the June 1 OV camp circuit. And so, all these guys are going to OVs all June, hearing from collectives, hearing these deal promises, all this stuff. So what we do is, we bring in all these athletes, all their families. We bring in all of our 5-stars. So Shannon's always ranked 32 5-stars every year because there's 32 first-round draft picks. So it's only fitting we do that. So we have all of our 5-stars here, and then some corresponding 4-stars that we think have a chance. And we surround them with the best of the best. Guys like Andrew Hawkins tomorrow, league veteran who went and got a degree at Columbia University while he was playing, now has the only league authorized virtual reality company. Will Compton, league guy for 9, arguably 10 years, as he would say, and started a multi-million media brand while he was playing. You got guys like DeAndre Hopkins, Will Levis, who will be here tomorrow, who started 4th and 1 Ventures, basically a Shark Tank-like model for NFL players to get involved with in the offseason. And then you got guys like Jimmy Sexton, Ed Barry, who repped Aaron Rodgers, Randall Cobb. So surrounding them with the best of the best, but also names when they go up there on stage, closed door, no cameras, intimate setting. They pour into the kids, their families, and it's real authentic because they know who those are. And so that's why we did it. And then we get to showcase a great city like Nashville and do pool parties and bring in folks like the Cavender twins who have been successful and do it at a great venue like the W.
After meeting you last year, I could tell that you guys have got it dialed in. But it was the Wild West for so many years in NIL. Has the NCAA reached out to you guys to brief them on the right way to do things?
Shockingly, no.
I mean, doesn't that kind of shock you though? Because you guys have been on a big platform for a long time talking about it, and it all makes sense the way you guys lay it out.
I mean, it's kind of high. I mean, is it shocking? Yes. Are we really shocked?
No.
Yeah. And that's the thing is we have seen it more than anyone. We got guys like Steve Wiltfong, Hayes Fawcett, Chad Simmons, who are the godfathers of recruiting, who talk to these guys all day, every day, know what they're getting promised, what coach is saying what. And then we have the sports business side with, Pete Nakos and Eric Prisbel. I mean, longtime guys who have the business side of it, guys like Andy Staples, all under our umbrella. So we can piece together the whole equation to go and put on events like this and for these kids. But no, we've never heard from them.
I finally heard a horror story, your words, of a kid who got a lot of money, didn't save any of it for taxes, and now he's got a tax problem.
Yeah.
Are you starting to hear more and more of these type stories that some of these players haven't gone through something like this and they're starting to get in a bad situation?
All over the place, and you're seeing more of it. The thing that's wild is a lot of these guys, like I said, I mean, the group you have here, rising seniors, 17-year-old kids, and a lot of guys, when they go off to whatever their respective college, a lot of them are early enrollees and they're still 17. They're still dependent on their parents. And so since they're all 1099 guys, they're going to, college, getting all this money. Some of the times the parents have no idea what they're making. These guys are spending it in 3 months and don't realize that you have a tax bill due next April.
Yeah.
Right. But that's the thing. A lot of these guys, they don't know better, because no one's taken the time to truly walk through being like, hey, here's your $100,000, but you're going to pay this next April.
Yeah, only 60 of it's really yours.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Right. And so that's why we do it. And we don't want it to be click the slide deck. You're in a classroom setting, whatever. We want it to be real authentic, but also scare the shit out of them too.
Yeah.
Lay into them, be like, hey, you guys are all elite athletes. I don't know if you know it, Shannon, since 1997, when he started rivals.com through 24/7 Sports, and now of ranking 32 5-stars every year for the past 30 years, 81% of the guys that he's given a 5-star ranking to have gone on to get drafted.
Wow.
So
That's unbelievable.
him sitting in that room today, 81% of those guys are going to go on to get drafted. So when we bring in our partners like CAA and Morgan Stanley, Global Sports Entertainment, they come in knowing, man, these are dudes right here. So we might not be making a whole lot on them right now, but 4 years from now, Like,
yep. I mean, the next Patrick Mahomes could be here.
Well, they know that they met them here in this setting, and the guys know that, the families know that. So that's what makes it so special, because it's so intimate and so close, and it's so relationship forging. Just awesome.
Where does NIL go? Grant Ferking is with us with On3, and you have followed NIL as you get this settlement, and now with the prospect, and it's going to happen, of players becoming school employees and salary caps and things like that. See, I've always maintained NIL goes nowhere because the major programs are going to use it to still entice kids. I mean,
it's never going to go anywhere.
No,
because you're going to have the rev share model at the school.
Right.
People don't realize that's not going into effect till next year at the earliest. It still has to get certified at the judge. They can poke holes through it, do all sorts of stuff. So like the headlines are what they are, but that's still has a long way to go. But NIL is never going to go anywhere because donors are always going to have that itch to
That's
go
right.
try to have a little hand in the mix. And on top of that, of that 20 million between Title IX, how they have to rev share that with all sports, there's only going to be like 5 to 8 million of that that's actually going to football. The best collectives in America right now are funding their rosters with 15 to 20 million bucks. So if the school can only fund 5 to 8, you got to go find the other 15 somewhere else. So the source of the money isn't going.
and to me, it's the way. So in other words, a free agent in football might choose to go to the New York Giants because the New York market gives him more opportunities to make money off the field.
For sure.
So what's the difference? If you're going to pay players, they're going to be employees. What's the difference in a kid choosing Tuscaloosa or Auburn or Austin or wherever for that very same reason? See,
It's the exact same reason.
Yeah, and that's where the NIL is going to go.
And the thing that's fascinating to me, if you really go down and study, is like there's never been a model before where there is a rev sharing by a state-funded institution to where there isn't collective bargaining and the kids aren't employees. Like it's never been done before. So like if you get to the legality and the financial study of it, like there's never been anything like this.
That's right.
I mean, it truly is fascinating.
Have some programs separated themselves when it comes to collectives? Like if I was to ask you the 3 best collectives just out there right now, could you go through it?
For sure. I mean, it's if you are an elite contender or you are recruiting collectively, I mean, it takes anywhere from 10 to $18 million a year for you to fund your roster.
So that Ohio State number of $20 million is realistic.
That's real. And you got to think like that's not you ask for $20 million to go do stadium renovations. Donors get to enjoy their suite for a decade. Like they got to write that $5 million check every single season, because then you have you got your high school recruiting you got to do. Then you have 2 portal openings. So you have to have your wallet handy and your checkbook ready to strike. I mean, truly year round.
That's why
your opportunity to go and get players.
Yeah, do you have an example of and you don't have to give a name, but a booster that spent X amount of dollars? Like how big is the amount like certain boosters will give a program in a year?
I mean, I have heard stories, and look, all the schools still have capital campaigns. These donors still want to go sit in a nice box, and when you come on OVs, you still got to show a badass training facility, and you still got to show the best food and everything. So like that part doesn't stop, but what some of these donors are learning that have just given to schools for years and years is like, man, I can go give a $20 million check and see that stadium get built a decade from now, and go see my name on the Lance Taylor School of Business a decade from now. I can go, which we know that would never happen.
Is that an oxymoron?
Or I can go to the collective and say, hey, I want that player. Here's $10 million. He's on campus.
And he's there tomorrow.
Let's go win a championship.
Yeah.
So like the instant success, the instant gratification of the NIL give money to collectives is real, because they see an instant return on their dollar.
Why do coaches and administrators hate your NIL evaluation?
I don't think they do.
You don't think they do?
I mean, I think everything always comes into question.
Yeah.
But
what I hear them talk occasionally. Well, that's what On3 says you're worth. But
I think it's great that you guys have
But
that.
I think they hate it if they don't have the money to match what Grant and the people
Because
say.
you guys are doing a combine out here.
You're setting the market, though, right?
And a lot of times we have a lot of people that are paying it. And so what do you know what someone's value is? What someone's willing to pay.
That's right.
And so that's how we form our valuation. There's an algorithm to it, but we also have 20 reporters who talk to collectives every single day that basically we have guys that get a Excel spreadsheet of names crossed out, just says QB1, boom, QB2. So like we know what these guys are making. And so look, I mean, is anything ever perfect? No, but I mean that thing has worked wonders for us in terms of putting us on the map. And look, if it wasn't for NIL, I mean, we wouldn't be having this event, and we wouldn't have blown up in the market.
What is a Carson Beck worth on the market?
You put me on the spot there.
What is a elite
What are the
starting quarterback? QB1, what is that worth?
More important, what are the Cavender twins? That make it real.
1.7 million I saw yesterday.
But yeah, if you're a starting quarterback in an elite, school in the SEC, you're making anywhere from, $1 to $2 million a year.
It's insane.
That's real.
Yeah, and that'll keep a lot of these guys from leaving early to go to the draft.
If you don't have a shot, if you're honestly, you're not a, first, second day guy.
That's what, like Martin Sears at Alabama.
Yeah.
The report is he's getting $850,000 if he comes
You have
back.
nothing to lose. You go play for another year, draft stock rises, and you're getting paid, high 6-7 figs.
Unbelievable.
Rather than just burning a year in the league and then just being a guy getting traded from roster to roster.
Grant, thank you for having us, man.
Enjoy it, man.
It's been fantastic.
Birmingham legends, right?
Thank you, Grant.
Absolutely.
Oh, all our stuff's overheating.
Yeah.
We had a great first 2 hours, and now we're in the sun.
And Lance is the only one with a swimsuit on. So.
I know. He's going to dive
in the entire building.
Yeah. he billed this morning. I said, I said, are you guys wearing shorts? And Brown said, absolutely. He goes, it's a pool party. I'm wearing swim trunks.
Yeah.
And I forgot how formal you guys are.
Yeah.
Now, are the Cavender twins, are they going to be poolside? That's what people want to know.
They got their whole cabana over there.
Oh, yeah.
I've got my Speedo in here.
Lance is doing a remote shot from over there.
Cabana.
That's great, man. Thank you guys. On3, just a great event here. Appreciate you guys so much. Show being brought to you by our friends at Woodhouse Day Spa, LT's place, where he's not poolside, he's in a spa somewhere.
No, make sure you stop by, see the fine folks, Stuart and all the guys at Woodhouse Day Spa, birmingham.woodhousespas.com. That is the email address. You can order gift cards online, 70 different options, massages, waxing, skincare, facials, everything. They've got it right there at the Woodhouse Day Spa. Voted America's best day spa since 2009. Conveniently located at the Summit Shopping Centers. Again, for more information and to order that special gift online, birmingham.woodhousespas.com.
And as always, this hour brought to you by our friends at Champy's Chicken, Highway 119 in Alabaster. Don't forget those Mississippi Delta recipe tamales. Great way to start off your wonderful lunch or dinner experience, and they cater offices or parties, including tailgates. It's a wonderful place. Champy's Chicken, Highway 119 in Alabaster. When we come back, we'll do trash. Also still to come, our official measurement here of Jim Dunaway's height. Is he 6 foot or not? You make the call after the break. Stay with us.
Follow Rockstar on Twitter at RockstarBHM.
Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemp Hill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemp Hill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemp Hill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090. Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about one of our favorite places for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That is Hamburger Heaven since 1982. Hamburger Heaven has been serving Birmingham's best hamburgers, cheeseburgers, French fries, hand-spun milkshakes, and sandwiches made fresh to order. All of their ingredients are fresh and prepared daily. This includes their beef, always fresh, never frozen, hand-pattied each and every day. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, visit any of the 4 locations, Highway 280, Irondale, Gardendale, and Homewood.
Remember the name Way to Wellness if you're battling weight loss in your life. I'm Jim Dunaway from the Next Round. There was a time I was over 216 pounds until Way to Wellness helped me lose 45 pounds, and now for over 2 years, they've helped me keep that weight off. Here's their website, aplanforme.com, aplanforme.com. That's a great name for a website because there's no cookie cutter plan. Everything is designed specifically for you. No contract, no sign-up fees, and your first consultation is free at Way to Wellness.
Every day, someone is ridiculed and mocked for the clothing they chose to wear. It's a harsh reality we all must face. But you have the chance to change all of that with one visit to nextround.store. For just a few minutes of browsing, you will observe so many clothing options, from hats to hoodies to t-shirts. Please, for yourself or someone you love, go to nextround.store and embrace the warmth of true attire.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
Golf season is here, and if you're looking for a great golf course with affordable rates, you need to check out the newly renovated Woodward Golf Club. Woodward Golf Club is a semi-private club with membership opportunities available, but is also open to the public. You can book tee times online at this hidden gem by going to golfwoodward.com. For only $195 per month, you can enjoy unlimited golf 7 days a week. Membership includes discounted cart fees, unlimited range balls, and the use of our practice facilities. For more information on memberships and the course, check us out online at golfwoodward.com.
Back with you here in Nashville at our On3 Elite event going on, the top 50 football recruits for this upcoming year in town. That includes a measurement that they go through to officially be listed on the website. More on that after Brownie tells us about our friends at Hemp Hill, who brings us best and worst of the weekend. Tell us about Hemp Hill.
Hemp Hill Services, Lance, they are the ones.
Since 1954, the name Birmingham Trust for all of your heating, cooling, and plumbing needs. Call Adam, Chad, Andrew, the guys today. Tell them the next round. Cynthia, hard to stop a train. For more information, hemphillservices.com. It was a good intro, though.
No, thank you. I got the name of the company right.
Heating, plumbing,
cooling. If it doesn't run right, drain right, flow right.
It's Hemp Hill, Brownie. Come
Hemp Hill. Remember when you were pitching a perfect game in the first hour?
I remember when you would pick up the ball and cover it up perfectly in the day.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's yeah. I mean, it loses the perfect game. He's like, God, that was a bad throw from short.
Yeah,
come on, perfect game going.
Yeah.
Finger point.
Used to be able to make that play in center field, Brownie. Rockstar cut 3 earlier. These guys have never believed that I was 6 foot, so I had to shut them up. Take a look.
You ready for this?
Yep, ready.
We're gonna finally
Shoes off.
Shoes off, hat off.
They leave the sock off.
Here we go. Here we go.
Oh yeah, very cool.
Here we go.
All right, official.
No, we're not gonna do weight.
You don't want to do that one? Hey, I get it.
All right, this is
heels against the wall.
Heels
here.
against the wall.
Cody and Charles.
Does it need feet together? Feet together?
These are professionals.
There's all about integrity here. They're not going to give you any interest.
He's legit.
Yeah.
He's legit.
I'm so sorry.
Is it below 6?
It is below 6.
It's below 6?
This is what we've always
Go ahead,
known.
step out
All right,
for
step
me.
away, sir. What we got here?
It's 5'10" and a half.
No way.
Oh, my gosh, 70 and a half. 5'10".
5'10" flat?
5'10" and a half.
5'10" and a half? Does that hurt my draft stock?
No, I mean, it's good. It works. What position are we playing?
The gymnastics.
5'10" and a half was the official measurement.
Yep.
Now, I've never measured without shoes on. The shoe usually gives you an inch, I think. So 5'11" and a half is what I think I've always been.
Okay, makes sense.
So
yeah.
5'10" and a half sock feet. I've never done sock feet.
So they made you take your shoes off, and that's why you're below 5'11".
Yeah. So
that is a thick sole you got.
Yeah, man.
I
never sold mine. Never sold a bill of goods. 6'2" and a half.
6'2" and a half.
Off.
Meanwhile, down the aisle here, Brownie's always been Rockstar. Rockstar has always impersonated this perfectly. What is Brown's height, Rockstar?
Was it 6'1", borderline 6'2"?
It ain't borderline 6'2".
It's a flat 6'1".
6'1", Rockstar. I'm 6'1".
Borderline
There's no
6
more
foot.
borderline 6'2".
A lot of it dying on the vine here in Nashville.
But we only get shorter, right?
That's right. I mean, I'm shrinking. I was borderline 6'2" when we started this show together, but I'm shrinking.
I was 6 feet when we started this show together.
Yeah.
And now I'm 5'10" and a half.
Yes. We're crumbling.
I will be the little meteorologist by the time we're done with this show down the road. Let's do trash. It's brought to you by our friends at Mortgage Right. Rockstar. Hit the big button, man.
Waves in opposition. Anita Dick is an opponent. Waves in opposition. Holden Hiscock is also an opponent.
LT's Trash is presented by Mortgage Right. Mortgages done the right way.
They are your mortgage experts. Make sure you go online. Go to mortgageright.com/TNR. Whether you're buying your first home, your final home, whether you need a lot of money down, you got no money down, they've got options everywhere. They turnkey in the state of Alabama, but they service all throughout the nation. Again, mortgageright.com/TNR. Okay, so I got to do it off my phone because my computer will not pull my emails right
Oh,
now.
no.
And so this is going to be tough. You see how small that font is?
I do.
We start first with an Alabama woman.
Normally it's a Florida man.
DeKalb County Sheriff's Office arrested Alabama woman for stealing floral arrangements from graves.
I mean, how despicable do you have to be?
Oh, my. Larry David did it.
Steal flower. Oh, did he?
He did it for Memorial, I think. What was it, Rocky? Do you remember on the side of the road?
Yes, I think somebody also took some shoes from a famous museum. That was very uncomfortable.
Yeah, the shoes. Wow. Authorities arrested 69-year-old Martha Bowles of Valley Head, Alabama. You guys ever been to Valley Head?
I have been to Valley Head.
I had a fraternity brother who was from Valley Head.
I know right where Valley Head is.
They are charging her with desecration of a gravesite. Sheriff's Office received reports, gravesite thefts. So victim faces theft from the gravesite before they installed cameras to actually catch her red-handed, which they did.
Oh, so they knew she was doing it.
Yeah, they knew floor arrangements were going missing, so
Right.
they set it up, and they found out it was this 69-year-old woman. Is this island worthy?
Normally, the island has been reserved for like child molesters.
But you can't have a moral compass if you're stealing flowers,
I
right?
don't disagree, but trash is built on people without a moral compass, and we don't send them all to the island. I am not Rockstar. Do you think I'm wrong in this? I am not sending her to the island.
No, it's I wouldn't do it. It's just a stealing from the dead is very
Well, do you have a picture
and
of her
flowers
house?
die.
Because they said they came in and they found floral arrangements all over the house. Like, it had to be gaudy and tacky, right?
I would imagine.
You think she was selling them online, like cheap flowers or anything like that? Let me ask you this.
Is she Rockstar? Is she wearing an Alabama shirt?
I haven't seen the picture.
Yeah, that's script
I get
A.
it. I get it.
Script
Yes.
A?
Yep. Sure is.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, she's from Valley Head. She's going to be Alabama Auburn, right?
So let me ask you, if let's say Lance was my buddy and he died in service, and we used to always have beers together, and I go out and I go graveside and I have a 6-pack of beer and I sit it on his grave and I pop one, I drink one, I leave the other 5 for Lance.
No, I do that for my buddy Tommy Cummings.
You do?
I pour, and I haven't done it in a long time, so this is a good reminder, but I'll pour a pint of Jim Beam and leave him a pack of Camel cigarettes.
Yeah. So if I go by and grab those cigarettes and smoke those or drink the 5 other
I'm
beers.
sure the dude cutting grass probably does,
No,
right?
either that or I was just envisioning. No, I was envisioning a squirrel leaned up against the headstone going.
I don't know how I got hooked on these.
Well,
but
you know,
it's
so
amazing.
when we have to be out of the condo at 10 a.m., when you're leaving the beach and
Right.
you just leave all that shit in the fridge.
Right.
Right.
And you know, they just make out like bandits.
Sure.
It's almost like the graveside people probably when they see a 6-pack or a pack of cigarettes. Like, I don't mind them taking the pack of cigarettes because those are going to get destroyed. anyway.
Animal's going to eat it. And it's not good for the animal, so they may as well take it. So Tommy liked the Camels and the Jim Beam.
Oh, yeah. Buried him with a pack of Camels, the bottle of Jim Beam, and a Vegas rotation back in the day where, you know, you would write, you know, game 148, 149,
Yeah.
Clemson and NC State. You'd write the numbers, what money you had on it.
Yeah.
But he had a rotation in his pocket. Woman arrested for battering man with a cinnamon roll.
I love cinnamon rolls too.
I
They
saw
should not
them.
be used as a weapon.
They've got mini ones at Publix with the white icing all over the top.
So good.
I almost got them, but I knew I'd
You're
eat
hooked on 'em.
every one of
You're
them.
hooked on them. You don't like a cinnamon roll,
I
Dunaway?
do not. I am an orange roll guy.
I like orange roll. I like cinnamon roll a little bit better, but I like both.
Is it the cinnamon or the cream cheese icing?
I'm not a huge, I love cream cheese icing, not a huge cinnamon fan.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, that's fair enough. I mean,
Like it needs to be
I'm not a.
really good for me to like cinnamon.
So no Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
I don't love it, but I can eat it.
I'm not a big cinnamon guy myself, but I do like cinnamon rolls. It's an
I
interesting.
grew up eating cinnamon toast. A lot of butter. I would only really what do you call it? Toast the top side.
Yeah.
Butter and cinnamon was really good.
I don't like cherry, and sometimes there is a cherry flavor added to some elite cinnamon rolls.
Interesting. I don't like that at all.
Taste the cherry so
Yeah,
much.
I would not like that.
Cops say Ann Luna, 37 years old, chunked a cinnamon roll at the back of 49-year-old victim's head, striking him at the base of the neck. Cinnamon roll incident occurred at a transitional housing facility in St. Petersburg.
You're going back to the tank.
It's attempted murder if it's a Cinnabon.
Now, arrest affidavit states it doesn't reveal the motive. I'm going to say alcohol was involved. Alleged cinnamon roll attack, which was recorded by security cameras. Rockstar, do we have that?
We don't.
we
but
got
we
the
do
mug.
have a mug.
Yeah.
That's all natural. I
It's a
think.
little catch me outside.
Yeah. How about that? I mean, as far as mugs go, I've seen worse.
Well, I'll tell you, It was bright sunlight, and I was like, she's not that bad looking. And then we had a cloud pass by, and I was like, she gradually got worse. It was like a bad filter rebuild.
Oh, and she's throwing cinnamon rolls, so I can never be in her presence.
Weird story here. Google's new search feature that uses AI to answer some users' questions is being criticized for inaccurate responses, including telling users to eat rocks and mix pizza cheese with glue.
My son was telling me this yesterday at breakfast. The AI responses you get now with Google are so incorrect, and he mentioned those two specifically to me, and he was running through a list of them that were just horribly bad.
Right, if AI can't get it right, who can? Right?
Well, see, what AI is just searching things on the internet, and somewhere somebody had said, well, if you want cheese to stick to your pizza, just add some glue to it. And they picked that up. They can't tell what is good information and bad.
They don't know. AI doesn't know sarcasm.
That's right.
Yeah.
AI Overview rolled out across the U.S. last week and became available to some users in the U.K. last month. It is designed to make searching for information simpler, but since the rollout, examples of erratic behavior by the feature have flooded social media. In one example, AI appeared to tell users to mix glue with cheese to make sure the cheese would stick to the pizza.
Jeez.
Another one said to eat rocks because rocks have minerals in them.
Oh, 1 rock a day is what was recommended according to Google AI.
Rocks do have minerals in them. That is not untrue, I don't think.
Weird story. This one's even weirder. Man said he ordered a triple cheeseburger from McDonald's with everything removed just to see what would happen.
So what do you get to, a bun?
No, not even that. It's what I thought before I read this story. Now, he said he placed the order on DoorDash, got an empty box in a bag, gave the driver an $11 tip. His name is Greg. He shared the odd experiment on his profile Saturday shortly after ordering the non-burger. Quote, hopefully they don't mess my order up. They usually do, he wrote on X. The driver, Dan, messaged Greg to check up on his order, telling him, did he know he was going to get an empty box? He said, quote, are you good with that? Greg said, absolutely. That's what I'm expecting. Showed up. It was an empty box, but it was a McCrispy box.
Oh, you got the wrong box. So now he's going to bitch about it.
So, yeah, he sends the wrapper, quote, the wrapper and a McCrispy box. I ordered a freaking triple burger, not a McCrispy sandwich. Somehow they managed to mess this up anyway.
How about get a McLife? I mean, what are you doing with yourself here?
By the way, I went to a McDonald's on the way up here yesterday after golf in Coleman.
Yeah?
The best McDonald's I've been to in a decade.
Well, it's been a minute since I've been to a McDonald's, Jimmy D. What made it so good? Shout out Coleman McDonald's, by the way.
Coleman McDonald's had it dialed in.
Yeah.
I got 2 cheeseburgers.
Okay.
And the fries, large fries.
Yep.
The cheeseburgers were hot. They were put together well. They were proportionate condiments all over it. The meat was properly heated. Bread was heated. Perfectly done cheeseburgers at McDonald's and perfectly done fries. They had not been sitting under. It was like they made it to order for me.
It was your best McDonald's experience
in a decade.
Is there a chance they've seen the movie and thought you were Ray Kroc?
Maybe.
Guys, the owner's here.
The founder.
My God, he's here.
The guy that's on the portrait by the men's room is here in the drive-thru.
I swear, I've seen the movie.
I mean, if we could sell you at Talladega as Michael Keaton, we probably could at the local.
Have y'all watched that movie?
I have not.
I have not.
I've heard it's good, though.
That's Trash Today, brought to you by our friends at Mortgage Right.
Yeah, the best in the business, the mortgage experts, whether you're buying your first home or your final home, whether you need a big down payment or nothing at all, these guys can give you the right advice. Go online. You can apply there, mortgageright.com/TNR, NMLS 2239, equal housing lender.
Before you give us our mental health minute today, brought to you by Johnson RV, it really hit home with the sports world this weekend with the suicidal death of Grayson Murray, age 30, who withdrew from the Charles Schwab event, right?
He did.
He went back to his hotel room and passed away.
It's awful, Brown. I'll let you get to your point, but the thing is, this was a guy, according to what I read, was an interview he did in January, 8 months sober, had given up alcohol, was engaged, and he seemed like his life was on the right path.
I saw an interview after the round with Webb Simpson, and the connection there is Webb Simpson does a junior tournament, and Grayson Murray won that first junior tournament. So they'd had a connection, and Webb was talking about how, what you just said, it seemed like everything had made a turn for him. Webb Simpson pointed out that Grayson Murray had found Christ, and that religion and a relationship with Christ had become very important in his life. And here's the thing that jumps out at me, Jim. He was having his best year professionally.
Won the Sony Open.
So for those that don't know, that just takes so much pressure off your plate because that gives you the rest of that year plus the next 2 years
It
on the
shows you
PGA
this.
Tour. But so what I was going to say, Lance, is like we look at it sometimes with mental health and say, oh, everything's going right for him now. Everything's going to be fine. And you just can't. This is just another reminder. You can't look at it that way from our terms. We're like, oh, my God, if I were on the PGA Tour and I were a PGA Tour winner and I had basically 3 years of eligibility on the PGA Tour, I'd be the happiest man alive. So that's just not the way mental illness
I told
works.
you I had a situation this morning, and I give everybody the benefit of the doubt. I'm just not going to be a dick to people anymore. I know that's hard to believe.
Yeah,
I had a situation this morning. I just don't know what people are going through in their lives. And we just finished a series at my church, Help My Mind is Under Attack. It was about mental illness. And the pastor was talking about, like, Hollywood people are killing themselves all the time. Just because you have money and fame doesn't make you happy.
60 Minutes this week interviewed a lottery winner, and he was like, I thought if I had all the money I needed, and it was one of the big ones, like $200-300 million that he walked away with straight up cash. Thought if I had all the money that I would be much happier. He goes, I'm less happy. And let me tell you that I give a lot of it away. I just give a lot of it away. And the downward spiral for me mentally started when people I knew, I would go and wipe off $20,000, $25,000, $30,000 worth of debt off of their slate without them even asking. And then 6 months later, they'd come back to me with 30, 40,000 of debt again, wanting me to wipe it off again. And I was like, no, I'm not doing it again. That he'd already done it once for them. And 6 months later, they've run it back up to 30. He goes, the number of people that come asking for money constantly, and he gives so much of it away. He goes, it has been he goes, I don't want to say it's the worst thing because I do have this $1 million home. He goes, but I'm not happy like I was before I had all this money.
Well, I thank God have never dealt with mental illness. And I genuinely mean I thank God for that. I'm not just using that as a phrase.
Yeah, we had a conversation last night.
We did. But I didn't understand it. And I still don't, right? But I'm learning about it. And in my pitiful understanding of it, I would have just thought this guy had everything going for him. The mental illness is cured. And that is not the way it works. That's what I'm learning.
Yeah,
right?
it's never cured.
I'm not going to say it's never cured, but I'm going to say what we on the outside.
It's a continuous battle. And I'll tell you,
is.
I had a slip up yesterday coming into Nashville. My anxiety took over. I told Brown last night, I was like, well, just wasn't in a great spot, and I'm taking a med every day. I took my med yesterday. I'm seeing a therapist once a month, but you're still going to have those moments. And that's why it's so important to get out in front of this, because they will give you steps, things to do, people to talk to. This is so disturbing. Men in the U.S. die by suicide at a rate 4 times higher than women, yet men diagnosed with depression and mood disorders at a far lower rate. Why is this? Because men think it's taboo. People are embarrassed to talk about this. Don't be embarrassed. You can't help it. It's the way you're chemically balanced or imbalanced. You can get help. I'm speaking from experience. 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline if you need to talk to somebody, but start a conversation with someone close to you, your doctor today. Very important. The Men's Mental Health Medical Minute brought to you by our friends at Johnston RV.
Yeah, Nick has been a great partner in this. Nick Johnston, and you'll see more from him on this coming up soon. I-65 exit 304 in Coleman, 334 in Decatur is where you find Johnston RV Center, and always online at johnstonrvcenter.com. And they've repriced both of those lots, and they are so confident in their pricing. They'll say you find a price anywhere in America, bring it to them. They'll beat it on a comparable RV. I-65 exit 304 in Coleman, 334 indicator with that price guarantee. The #1 RV dealer in the month of March. Last full month we have records for in the state of Alabama. So that's who you're dealing with. JohnstonRVCenter.com.
One more segment to go. We'll recap all the big headlines live from Nashville right here on the next round.
Follow Scott Forrester on Twitter at Scott Forrester TV.
This hour of The Next Round is presented by the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, now featuring 7 days of giveaways with your chance to win a share of up to $125,000. The more you visit the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, the more chances you have to win.
Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop, rare quality, well-done service.
Start your day online with our website, nextroundlive.com, for the latest videos, podcasts, and college football stories. It's also a great way to stream the show or shop in the Next Round store. Stay connected by visiting nextroundlive.com. Follow Next Round Live on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. The social media team at Next Round Live is dedicated to giving you daily news conferences and practice video from UAB, Alabama, Auburn, and around college football. Follow and compare to the sites you used to visit. You'll also get the latest highlights and news from the Next Round Daily Show. Turn on the notifications so you don't miss a thing. Next Round Live on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. See more at nextroundlive.com.
Hey, you. Summer's here. Time to get hot. And at New Balance Birmingham, that's just what we got. For a summertime vibe, see what's inside. Come together at New Balance Birmingham on Highway 280, right next to Chick-fil-A. New Balance Birmingham, we got now.
Golf season is here, and if you're looking for a great golf course with affordable rates, you need to check out the newly renovated Woodward Golf Club. Woodward Golf Club is a semi-private club with membership opportunities available, but is also open to the public. You can book tee times online at this hidden gem by going to golfwoodward.com. For only $195 per month, you can enjoy unlimited golf 7 days a week. Membership includes discounted cart fees, unlimited range balls, and the use of our practice facilities. For more information on memberships and the course, check us out online at golfwoodward.com.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about our friends at Gutter Cap. Gutter Cap's that patented aluminum cover system that fits over most existing gutters to keep out debris and eliminate that gutter cleaning. It's backed with a lifetime warranty, almost 20-year service record right here in Birmingham. Stay off that dangerous ladder forever. 45% off the retail price now if you call guttercapbirmingham.com. Call my good friend Chris Stewart now, 205-823-2212. Cap it, don't snap it. It's Gutter Cap.
Back with you to Nashville. Sun-drenched day up here, high in the mid-80s. Lance dressed for the On3 pool party coming up momentarily.
I was going to stay another night, but I forgot Brown's out tomorrow.
Oh, I didn't know Brown was out tomorrow.
I'm playing in the
You're the last to know everything.
Yeah, I'm playing in the Jack. This has been discussed, by the way. Don't act like you haven't heard this. The Jacksonville State golf tournament tomorrow.
Is it on the calendar that you're out?
It is not.
It is not.
Yeah.
So that's the only way I would know if it was on the calendar.
Other than the fact that we've discussed it.
I know. I
Yes,
said I didn't know which day it was. So it's a good day for golf tomorrow, I hope.
Yeah, that's right.
Should be a lot of fun.
You just want to stay here? We'll put the equipment. We'll set up.
I'm going to pass on that. I'm dying to see Rockstar, Forrester, Lunsford, and Tyler and the whole gang back there.
You work for the 12, right?
I work for the 12. Emily Grace McWhorter, her and Josh have a new pennant grace that is happening today. Part of that conversation is about Ronald Acuna Jr. They did a live emergency reaction to Acuna Jr. being out for the season. That is still available wherever you get the pennant grace at Disrupt the Media. Like and subscribe there. I caught some stray bullets on the Acuna injury, that it was a landmine from Paul and others on social media, several of you. Forrester has pulled up what I actually said about the Braves as the season began. Let's go back to March 26th. Here we go.
I'm not trying to start with Braves fans.
No, here we go.
I'm not trying to start with Braves fans.
Yeah.
Not trying to start with Braves fans on a landmine or anything. But if you watched yesterday, Chris Sale looked really good in spring training. Really good in spring training.
Ohtani's probably going to get suspended.
Yeah, I mean, but
Sale looks good. I mean, go ahead and say it, Jim.
Chris Sale looks good, and if Ohtani is
look at EG,
if Ohtani is struggling, his mind is elsewhere,
or he's suspended,
if he's suspended, door opens up.
You never know.
Chris Sale is healthy.
Hey, Taylor,
healthy and good.
Taylor and EG are in the same room. If you do this to the Braves, I don't know that you can ever go back in that room.
It's a struggle to go to the bathroom then. I'm just saying Chris Sale looked really good yesterday.
Okay.
Still does. Chris Sale is.
Well, yeah, the way you were framing that is the Braves are going to have a big season.
There's no doubt. You were talking about Ohtani being suspended or distracted, which neither one of those happened. He did get injured, though. And Braves got Chris Sale. I mean, you were basically, without saying it, saying the Braves are going to win that division.
No,
they're going to win the National League.
Specifically before that, or at some point saying the Dodgers are by far the team to beat. Unfair that they were able to have the offseason that they had. The Braves obviously are one of the best teams in baseball. Everyone will tell you. Buster's back on the show with us Thursday. He will tell you they're one of the best rosters in baseball. They still are one of the best rosters in baseball without their two best players.
Yeah,
you
can't lose your ace and your reigning MVP.
I mean, that's a Cy Young MVP combo that they
Chris
lost.
Sale is pitching better than
fantastic.
Strider could pitch right now. He's been fantastic.
Well, yeah, but you needed him and Strider. I mean,
and you feel like Strider, you're going to get the consistency throughout the season. I don't know if you're going to get that from Sale.
But I mean,
he looks great right now.
All that conversation was about the Dodgers. None of that was about the Phillies. They're really, really good, obviously.
But we've learned from Buster because they've been playing the weakest schedule in baseball.
Yeah, they've lost 3 or 4 now.
Yeah, but they're really good.
They've lost 3 or 4.
Okay.
To the Rockies.
It's a 162 game
Rockies, after an 8-28 start, the Rockies are actually playing pretty good baseball right now.
It's a long season.
It is.
And remember, the Braves won their
Dodgers
championship.
are still going to win this, right?
The Braves won their last World Championship without Ronald Acuna. You've got to trust the process if you're a Braves fan.
Boy, that would be – they're able to replicate that. And the secret sauce is losing the best player in baseball.
I know.
Doesn't make any sense.
And I tell you, Pat Murphy gets hammered in our chat room. You know who else gets hammered in our chat rooms? Brian Snicker. I can't figure out where Braves fans are on Brian Snicker. Like, I think – I don't know. I was going to say I think most like him, but I don't know if I could say that. I don't know where Braves fans are on Brian Snicker.
Our buddy Heath sent me a text when we were talking about Murphy
Big
earlier.
Braves guy?
No, he's a big Dodger guy, but he's like, Murphy reminds me of Dave Roberts. He was like, one championship with all the talent and being in the mix all the time is just not enough. And people said that about Bobby Cox.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I wouldn't say Patrick Murphy has all the talent. I mean, Oklahoma can choose their roster.
No, you're right about that.
People go there. I mean, he has to do it. I mean, he's better. He's better than some places because Oklahoma's the place everyone wants to go now. I mean, they won 3 straight national championships. I mean, that's a tough roster to crack.
Outbid them.
The number 1 overall seed.
Alabama. I mean, I think Oklahoma probably Dunaway has got some NIL investment in their softball program by now.
So what's Patrick Murphy supposed to do? He's supposed to walk in to Kalen DeBoer and Nate Oates and say, "Excuse me, sir, can you share a quarter?
Yeah, I bet.
Can you share a quarter for the NIL for the little softball?"
I don't know what is this. Why does Pat Murphy talk that way? Yeah. What nationality did he
I don't
become?
know. Excuse me, sir.
Pat Murphy wouldn't even, when Saban was there, wouldn't even have walked up to the building.
Are you channeling your Tiny Tim? Was that Tiny Tim?
I don't know. It just felt like that's the way they would do it on
you
Broadway.
did him like a newspaper guy on the side of the road or
got
something.
the gloves. It's got the fingers cut out.
Extra. Read all about it.
I never understood why homeless people in movies wear gloves with the fingers cut out.
Yeah.
Why would you wear gloves? I mean,
because the gloves were thrown away by rich people because they had holes in them.
And they just said, well, I'm going to get all the fingers
What?
out.
So they want if one's missing, they want the fashion statement of taking them all out?
All my fingers cold.
Hey, is that a phrase that we'll never hear again? Extra? Read all about it?
Extra.
Hard to pick a pocket if you don't have
That's true.
dexterity on all 5 fingers.
But if you notice, a hobo and homeless people in movies, if they wear gloves, they don't have the fingers in them. That's how they show a sign of super duper poverty. You can't even afford all 10 fingers in your glove.
For a long time in movies, all of Alabama was flat land.
Oh,
and
I know.
Nobody wore shoes.
No, I know that. I've had people come to Alabama for the first time, and you know what they say? The thing that blows them away the most? The mountains. They're like, I thought Alabama was flat farmland.
That's right.
I thought all you guys had was farms and cows in a random city.
Yeah.
It's like I knew Birmingham was a fairly large city, but I had no idea how to
When
mountain.
I was walking through the lobby a second ago, I heard this guy. He was like, I'm in Montgomery now. He's like, it's a small city in Alabama.
It's capital city.
Who is he? AI on Google? Montgomery. I'm in Montgomery. It's a small city in Alabama where they eat glue and rocks. All right. Hemp Hill's final segment here. Some of the best and worst of the weekend. Tell us about Hemp Hill Browning.
205-229-2090. That is the number. He's getting shelled. 205-229-2090.
I've already cranked my car.
Whether it's home or business, for all of your heating, cooling, and plumbing needs, the guys at Hemp Hill will take care of it. Adam, Chad, Andrew, call them today. Tell them the next round sent you. For more information, hard to stop at train, hemphillservices.com.
As you might imagine.
I mean, five minutes away from the end of the show, Rockstar, I'm already doing this right here. I'm already like,
where are you parked?
Brown, that's we're on TV. That's a joke.
Okay,
that's a joke.
Hey, so there was
you guys should do more improv on the zone.
There was a lot of Alabama softball in the best, Alabama baseball in the best. Bobby's best, Angel Martinez, and I had missed this. Angel Martinez,
33 years,
retiring. Heavy on
immediately, by the way.
Immediately. Heavy on the air quotes. Now, I hope Angel's not sick. So I hope this doesn't come back like if he's sick. God, you guys.
We'll give you a pass. You can unload.
More likely sick or he's been caught up in some kind of gambling scandal.
No, he's just bad.
Yeah.
He's bad at his job. And I think baseball's just tired of him becoming the focus of games he umpires.
It's amazing because how well respected he is amongst umpires.
I don't know why.
And maybe he's just a fun guy on the road. I don't know, but you would think that he damages their craft.
Yeah, like I don't exactly. That's why I'm so surprised, Lance, that the union has stood behind him as much as they have, because it makes everybody else in the crew look bad.
Yeah, the best thing that could ever happen to Major League Baseball is if nobody ever talks about the umpires again.
That's right. You know, I asked Buster this a couple of weeks ago, though, Dunaway, and we'll bring this back up when he's on the show Thursday with Angel Hernandez. Like, I don't know if umpires have gotten worse at calling balls and strikes or if there's just more video evidence and technology now. But Buster said, one of his colleagues did the study and said, actually, they're calling them better right now. So it makes a guy like Angel Hernandez stand out even more. The guy was awful at what he did, and he was protected by a very strong union for years.
That's why you got to plan better. How late is she?
Running late, running jog.
Oh,
she's at the lunch shift somewhere, and she's
That's what it is.
Hey,
she was supposed to be there at 10:30.
Yeah.
Janice, we've already set your table. They're waiting on water right now. Two things from SEC meetings going on in Nashville. Vanderbilt coaches for Pete Thamel. Vanderbilt coach Clark Lee succinctly summing up the ambiguity over roster caps, the possibility of having roster cap limits moving forward. What I've heard is that everything I've heard is not to be trusted. To share an opinion now would be irresponsible. There's been discussion about no cap and them flying as many scholarships as you want in football, and there's been some discussion of lowering it from 85 to 70.
Yeah, you thought it was the Wild Wild West before. Just wait now.
Yeah, you're going to have a cap, and you're going to lower the number. Again, we talked about this early in the show. Everything is going the NFL model.
Yep.
Those two things will be part of it.
You thought it was bad when they knew the rules and cheated. Just wait till nobody knows the rules.
And Billy Napier on the Jaden Ricciardo lawsuit from Pete Thamel. Quote, I can't comment on the specifics due to the litigation, but we're very confident in our legal team, very comfortable with my actions, and very appreciative of the university's support.
Yeah.
That from Billy Napier.
Swift, no comment.
Getting university support there, he says, as they do the SEC meetings down in Destin. We're back in studio tomorrow. More of what the football coaches said at those meetings that are underway in Destin tomorrow on the show. Thank you to On3 at their Elite event. LT's going to hang out a while. We're back in studio tomorrow. LT and I will be there. There's a chance maybe it should be EG and me. Well, let me know if you don't make it back. EG and I can handle the show if you turn into a great pool day.
Well, I mean, here's what Grant said. He said, look, we're rolling out like top shelf food. We've got an open bar for the next round, guys. We've got a cabana over there. We've got extra rooms.
You stay and represent us. I would look forward to doing a show with Emily Grace tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let's check with EG and make sure.
Okay. We'll knock it
And
out.
I do think I got some meetings, so I need to check on a couple of things.
Okay.
But I appreciate the offer.
We'll see what it is. I mean, we are so blessed with how
My
big
plus one is parking right now.
Yeah, we are so blessed with the talent we have, the 12 up there, that I could do a show by myself and fill up 2 or 3 seats.
Well, Little
Just the
C will be
talent we
back
have.
Thursday.
Yeah, so we can all rotate in and out. We have so much talent up here. We need to platoon a little bit more, get a few pitches to some of the bench players.
You got Anne-Marie Lessick, new intern up there, Clemson girl.
I need to learn her name, yes. Yeah. I didn't know who you were talking about for a second. That's our show from Nashville. Back in studio tomorrow. Until next time, God bless you and God bless America.